Well, we got the Matco. We've got the Carlyle. And we got the Milwaukee. So we got all of them today. All three of them. Let me see all we got in here. Yeah, this is our first time to try to go live with multiple people, and it's been quite a journey and struggle, to say the least.
They've changed, a lot of the Google Hangouts and stuff like that, where it's only, I think, consumer versions and stuff like that. They've changed it. So, and me and Clay, we've been, how long have we been trying to do this? Probably an hour or something.
Since probably 11 o'clock, trying to figure it out.
Anyway, we got it figured out now. So, out of without y'all knowing the results, pretty much, other than what Clay said, maybe he can help you out with your Black Friday shopping. What do you want to talk about first, Clay? I think probably one of the most important is price point. So, do we know where the Carlisle's going to stand on price point at this point?
They said it would be comparable to the Milwaukee. So, exact price, I don't know. It's a bad dude. Like I say, we have not tested the Matco out, but if it's anything like the 3/8 gun, it's going to be extremely impressive.
I'm just glad, like I told you when you told me you got that Matco, I was like, I hope it ain't that awful color. You know, that awful burnt green looking color. And you're like, no. They got the greens and the oranges and all that now. So I'm like, thank goodness. So, it's bad.
The 3/8.
Yeah, that color. Yeah. Which there's nothing wrong with that color. You know, just, it's bad when you started doing your tools like women do their jewelry. They want their box to look pretty,
Well, I never liked, that was one thing I did have against, Matco. I wasn't a fan of that maroon color at all. Like, I just didn't like it,
Like I said, probably people from the 80s and all that, the old head mechanics, they laugh at us now like, you really care what color it is? But yeah, we really do. If you also ask them what a toolbox costs, I guess one of the most enjoyable thing I like doing is like when you see somebody like 65 and up come in here, ooh, what a toolbox. And I said, guess how much that toolbox is for? Huh, I bet that's a $2,000 toolbox. I said, you really close.
$2,000.
And then when you tell them what it lists for, they're like, are you all there, son?
Yeah.
Probably not. So what about, of course, if y'all haven't watched Clay's videos on the Carlyle where he actually busted a socket with when he first tried it. What about warranty? What have they discussed as far as warranty and all that good stuff?
I'm not sure exactly. I really don't know anything other than that is a really strong impact. It hits extremely hard, and the battery life is really good on it.
I know Clay told me behind the scenes, he was saying this sucker hits. He said it's hard for me to tell you how hard this thing hits. He said it hits like an air hammer. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
The speed that the anvil hits, it'll remind you of an air hammer. It hits fast. It hits really, really, really hard. So
I'm not trying to be rude to people in the chat, whatever. I'm just trying to get different ones here. But this is a lot of reasons Clay don't know a whole lot about it, and I know even less is like Clay will tell you, this is like just fresh out. I mean, nobody else seen it first on YouTube or anything. They let him kind of unveil it for the be the first one to do it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not even for sale anywhere yet. I know at the end of December, 1st of January is when it's gonna to be on sale. So it's impressive. It's really, really strong.
Brian Morgan said back in the day we only had one color. Kind of to open the chat up, does anybody on here own, and we're not going to stick this to a strictly Carlyle stream. We'll talk about the other brands. It's just the first brand that got brought up. Does anybody on here own Carlyle? And if so, what do y'all own, and what kind of what kind of history do you have with it? So I know myself, I've got some Carlyle screwdrivers, used them here and there or whatever, never had a problem. And I know Carlyle, they teamed up kind of heavy. I don't know exactly the relationship they do have with Napa. I don't know if Napa is exclusive to only selling them. Is that how it is, Clay? Like, I've never seen Carlyle in any
they're just Napa tools.
Yeah. I know back in the day, I've got some Everlast stuff, and back in the day, Napa worked with Everlast, and honestly, I got some crow's feet and stuff that I still use to this day, as far as that goes. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna have an interruption here. I got a guy that just pulled up, but anyway, so you might. He just seen the close sign, so we're good. So, all right, good deal. I guess he thinks Friday sale, Clay.
Well, I remember when the battery impacts kind of started. It started out with what 600 foot-pounds was a big thing, and then it kind of grew from there, and it's kind of got to the point where it's kind of outrageous. I mean, this is 1,500 foot-pounds. This one is 1,600 foot-pounds. I don't remember what the Milwaukee.
Where's the limit?
I don't remember what the Milwaukee was, but it was way up there too.
Breakaway was like 1,500 or 1,600 on Milwaukee, I believe, on that. But I mean, where's the limit? Where's the ceiling? You know what I'm saying?
I have no clue.
I was probably like, I'm hard convinced on a lot of stuff. Like, it took me a long time to switch just the battery. Because remember when battery first, I'm talking about, I don't know, like in the mid 90s, like batteries was known to, they're convenient, but they wouldn't last long, and stuff like that. And I was like, I'd rather have a corded drill any day or something like that.
Yeah.
Couldn't give me a cord or something now, so for sure. Let's see here.
You got to ask yourself, what is going to be the limit of the anvil? I mean, exactly. 1,500 and 1,600 foot-pounds, that's got to be pressing the anvil.
Exactly. So with the technology moving on, something's always going to fail at the weakest link. So, the anvil would have to be pretty freaking strong. So, let's see here. Somebody said the new Snap-on is going to be amazing. Static Reaper, you love that thing. Is amazing. So he must have the new Snap-on brushless. So I'm not. I don't have a Snap-on dealer anymore, representative. So I don't know. Levin Hendricks said Milwaukee is 1,400 breakaway torque. I knew it was somewhere around there. Somebody said my Napa let me test run the 3860 volt impact. The only downside was the weight of the battery. I have a flyer with all the tools that are coming out. That's cool.
Well, I know, I haven't got to play with the Milwaukee brushless yet. Hamilton had a couple of them on the truck so far, but we did use one in a video to take a lug nut off with. And, it did struggle with it at first, but it did it fine. Just like this gun, we'll take them off most of the time, but it seemed to struggle with it. It just depends on really how tight somebody put it on there, as with anything, of course.
Tailgate Tech saying the and the socket will probably be the weakest point if they go much higher. That's true. So,
well, I can tell you that the socket was definitely the weak link in my test. Yeah. Like, it blew it out instantly. So.
What about how do you like the trigger? I know you're a fan of the paddle switch on the Snap-on. What about the trigger on that particular tool?
It's kind of funny because all of them are exactly the same. Let's see if I can get it on camera. The
I
way
don't
it's
guess
made, the selector
a gun.
switch, they're all three exactly the same trigger.
How is the
Oh,
new snap? Surely the half-inch drive isn't a paddle switch. Surely.
no, it's just like these.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think that's pretty cool for sure. I can't wait. I actually wanted to drive down to see Clay. Of course, it never works out like I want it to actually hold it in my hand, try it out, and all that. Because you can watch videos all day long, but you put your hand down it, that's a whole different story.
Yeah. Do you feel that thing hammer? Like it's hard. Even hearing it run dry don't justify the damn thing hits hard. I mean, that's all I can say about it. It hits hard and it hits fast.
One thing I was telling you I like about the Milwaukee, and I was telling you a couple of weeks ago, is I like how it hammers, and then like it's got enough technology in it to know when it's broke loose, and then it slows down. I think that's so cool. I don't know how how that happens, or how they make, or how that machine knows that, hey, it's broke loose, quit hammering or whatever. But I love that part about the Milwaukee for sure. So
right.
But you the Matco dude pretty bad. You said that's a pretty bad gun as well.
Oh yeah, this gun did 600 foot-pounds, and it's a 3/8.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this one ain't nothing to talk down upon, because for a 3/8 gun, that's a bad dude right here. Like, without a doubt, you could do a transmission job with this on a big truck without any issues.
One thing you kind of forget about is kind of like wear and tear on your compressor, because our compressor used to run all the time before battery. The only thing we use our air for now is painting and like air blower, like when you're blowing the shop out, blowing something off, whatever. Other than that, I mean, we don't use air. But if the battery, for some reason, the battery won't take it off, it better be bad, then sometimes I'll have to break the air out or something like that. But even then, you got to use heat, and that's just, extraordinary cases. So, Matthew Cox, Milwaukee for the win.
I don't know. If we was going to have a test on busting 10 lug nuts loose, it would be hard for me not to pick this one up. If we was going to have a time test on which one would take them off faster.
I have to say, you're the only one. And I know it feels like if you had 3 girlfriends, you'd be cheating on one of them. But if you had to go to the box and you had something that you know is going to be hard to take off, and you open the drawer, which one would you pick, and why would you pick it?
Right now, it would be the Carlyle. And then, I don't know, I might change my mind after we test this bad boy next week.
That's right.
Because if the 1/2 inch is anything like the 3/8, it's going to be hard to beat. But I've had this gun for over probably close to 2 years now, and I've used it a lot of times. Like, it's so bad now, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but my battery like just flops around on this thing.
Yeah.
But
I
do know that's a good impact, but I do know for a fact this impact can't touch this impact. I know that.
Well, I know that Matco is supposed to be, if it lives up to the hype or the talk, then it's going to be a bad sucker too. I can appreciate though, like Milwaukee set the stage. You know what I'm talking about? They this is what we come out with, either equal us or top us. That's always good.
They set the standard on it for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm proud they did, because we'd still be back at 600 foot-pounds with a battery impact.
Right, with brushed stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why Snap-on waited so long with the brushless. I mean, they was a couple years behind when they supposed to be, the leaders of the tool. I mean, everybody Snap-on. And for them to fall so far behind. So anyway, it is what it is. Nobody really, in this conversation, I don't think anybody, will say Snap-on's the leader in electric tools. Hand tools.
No.
Yeah, hand tools is a different story, but electric tools, they just don't have it. So Milwaukee's so
I'm gonna
awesome.
say if they stick with the CT761 platform and then go with a brushless motor in it, as long as they keep the batteries, Snap-on will be okay. But if they change the batteries on the CT761 to where you have to buy all new batteries after people's already spent thousands and thousands of dollars buying the tools, I'm saying Milwaukee has cut their own head off in the cordless tool game.
Let me ask you this. Milwaukee, one thing I like about them, like you're talking about batteries and different applications, do you have a flyer or do you know what else that Carlyle has out? Like Milwaukee has like the weed eaters or the blowers for your wife and stuff like that. So not only can you use them at work, you can transfer batteries, that line. Is Carlyle planning on coming out? Or are they going to go that far?
They have, right now, I know, let me see if I can find the email. Right now, they have 8 tools, from what my understanding is. And they've got 8 different tools right now, and they're hoping, or they're planning on, expanding.
A 1/2 inch, a 3/8, a drill. What else would it be? The ratchet, the side ratchet, maybe something like that. Grease gun, maybe.
Yeah, I think they had a grease gun. I've got so many emails through here. It might take me just a minute.
Hey, for my birthday, y'all saw that video or stream or whatever. Clay for my birthday gave me a bunch of Milwaukee stuff, and one of them was a battery-powered grease gun. I never knew how much I would use that. Oh my gosh. I had that track. A lot of y'all might have saw a lot of my live streams. I had that track for that skid steer, and the way it works is kind of like a dozer track or whatever. It pumps a cylinder up, grease it, tightens the track. Where usually where I'd be pumping a pistol grip, or I'd be doing like this right here, you can set that dude on how many pumps you want, the speed and all that. I just pull the trigger on 25 pumps, and that track, oh my gosh, it made it so much easier.
Yeah, they've got they're going to have some more stuff that's coming out, and I don't know where the email is, but they do have, I know it's a 3/8 gun, the 1/2 inch gun. There were several others that was in that email, but I can't remember where it's at.
Gary Pope says, hey Clay, I got the Matco 3/8 gun Wednesday after seeing it on your video. Broke a socket using it. That's a powerful gun. So awesome.
Yeah, it is. Like Gary, you've experienced the Matco and you see how hard and fast that thing hits. I think that's one of the reasons that the Matco gun performs as well as it does. The Milwaukee guns just seem to hit slower. Like they're strong, but they don't have that real fast. It's a different feeling of it. It's almost like an air hammer.
Clay, you gave me a 1/2 inch gun, you gave me the 3/8 gun, and you gave me several other things. Well, Jim K had sent me the stubby 3/8 gun right when it come out.
Mm-hmm.
I have never used that other 3/8 gun. I love that stubby so much. Mm-hmm. So I know Matco offers the air stubby, but I wonder if any of the other manufacturers going to try to come out with an electric stubby like Milwaukee, because I love that thing. I love that little stubby gun. Mm-hmm. And I don't know.
I would love it if it was thinner.
Yeah, I don't know.
The thickness is what gets me on it.
I don't think they sacrificed by making the nose stubby. I don't think no power was sacrificed either. I might be wrong. It might be a different, maybe a lower pounds or whatever. But just by as far as using it, I don't think by making it smaller, I don't think they sacrificed any power. So I love that little sucker. Absolutely love it. How's it going, Robert Water? Brandon, Billy Mechanic. Hey, everybody.
It's extremely strong, to be as small as it is. I wish they would have made it a little bit thinner, though. Hey, Coder.
Yeah, I told you, me, myself, a lot of people uses the ratchets, the 9-degree ratchets on tractors. You don't use that. You kind of, everything's exposed to you, open from the side. So it kind of makes sense you wouldn't use anything that would bring you closer to it where you would like be in the hood or whatever.
Right.
But so that's not, I own a 1/4 inch air snap-on air ratchet. It's the only thing I own as far as that. So, but I love the I love the regular guns. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Matthew actually made a modification to his Milwaukee gun that was like a game changer. Let me go grab mine and I'll show you real quick, and you'll kind of get a better understanding of it.
All right, bet. Leave it to Matthew Cox to start modifying stuff. I know one thing. It looks like Clay has a boot on his Milwaukee gun. I don't know if Matco offers a boot. I think they do, because I think they was on back order, or Carlyle, either one. But Carlyle, I don't know. Clay, I know you talking about Carlyle had like this big rubber cushion housing or something like that. I mean, do you need a boot for that?
On the nose cone you would, but the back of it, they did a really good job. Like this is if I can turn it. This here, you can see how far my finger goes down in there. That's a pretty good rubber.
It's kind of absorbent thing already, ain't it?
Yeah,
like a bumper,
rubber.
like a bumper built onto it already. Yeah,
and it's this way on the sides too, the way it's made. But you had made it, for the front. But going back to the Milwaukee ratchets, like here's the snap-on. My camera's backwards, so I have to kind of watch what I'm doing. I like the little button. That's my favorite. Like, I don't ever use a regular neck ratchet anymore, because to me, it's junk. It's no good. If you can get in there that far, I just seen you use a regular ratchet, because I like electric ratchets for the speed and the ease of them. But the problem I have with the Milwaukee is that great big old long paddle.
Like a big butterfly.
Yeah. When I use these, it's usually where I can get in somewhere, mash a button, and get it out without having, to use a ratchet. And this is always in the doggone way. Well, Matthew took the roll pin out right here and moved the handle, took the handle off, and uses just the button.
Okay, that makes sense.
So he took this and made this.
There you go.
By doing the button trick.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I think the game changer, even though I don't use those things, back in the day, they'd like, don't pull on or break nothing loose. And then they came where they encourage you. Yeah, you can pull on them, ratchet them or whatever until you break it loose. You can pull the trigger.
Like, I'm surprised we haven't broke the battery off of this one, because, man, we have really cranked down. And in your natural hand grip is to hold the bottom of that battery.
That's right, and pull toward it.
And we would, it's pretty tough. I'll give them that.
Excuse me, right back.
We haven't destroyed it yet. But that's one of the things that I don't like about this. And then look how big the head is on them. Like, the head's huge compared to the snap-on head. So that's the only thing. But they're pretty strong. See there, Matthew? You need to do a video on how to take your paddle, how to de-paddle your Milwaukee ratchet, how to unpaddle it.
That would be a good video, wouldn't it? So,
yep.
What about
your Milwaukee ratchet?
Does everybody pretty much agree with the choice of, I call it the big three or whatever? I mean, I know Makita, man, there's DeWalt, there's so many other, Ryobi, but nobody's stepping the game up like these three companies right here for sure.
Yeah. The hammer drill that Carlyle's got's unbelievable. I did a video where we posted on Instagram. We was drilling through some 1/4-inch steel plate. It's actually an old channel beam, and was making a transmission adapter plate to go on our transmission jack.
Well,
I was using those the hyper step drill bits, man, that's the best. That's the best drill bits made, in my opinion. They are.
That's what I was going to tell you. You know, you can have the drill, but you better have the bit to go along. When you got that recipe, it makes the job a whole lot easier. A whole lot easier. So now, what's the hyper step are you talking about? Which one are those?
The Matco hyper step bits, like you got. You might have set them too.
Yeah. I love those drills. Now, it took me a long time to pull that trigger. Oh my God, $340 for drill bits. But when you think about when you're in the business I am, and it's lifetime warranty from 1/4 inch up, I was like, yeah, okay, sign me up. And I love them. I told you from the day I got them, I said, I love those suckers. I love them.
You know, Wally bought them first. They was on back order for the longest, you know, because they sold out. And nobody here in the shop bought them the first week Michael had them on the truck. Well, he sold that box, and then they was back ordered. And then Joe Gonzalez brought his truck here, which is another Matco dealer south of where we live, and we did some work on it. And he had us set on there, and he ended up letting Wally have them that day, and they transferred them to Michael's account, you know, for him to bill Wally.
Yeah.
We walked off the truck. This is no kidding. These things were brand new. We walked off the truck. We was working on a truck in here. He unboxed them. I turned the camera on, and we drilled through a truck frame with them straight out of the gate.
You know, one thing I like about them, and of course, I guess it depends on what size hole. You know, you still need to step it up. Like if you're going to build do a big hole, you still need to start with a smaller hole. But still, one thing they advertise, you don't need a pilot punch. You know, because the way the drill is made, it don't dance all over the metal like a traditional drill. Now that I will attest to. It don't. Wherever you stick that drill is where that drill bit's going to stay. So I love that. About it.
See, we don't even step it up. Like, you know, that hole that we did the other day was probably, I don't know, 7/16, somewhere in that area. We just, boom.
Straight into it.
Busted through.
And, of course, I don't own a drill doctor. I know several people say that they work, they don't. I've always been sorry at sharpening drill bits. So, but I know my Matco dealer said, look, you know, of course, he knows I'm not going to turn it in every week. So, hey, this one don't do good. If I turn it back in, it's going to be bad. But he said, look, you know, I know this, you know, the way the tip's made, it's hard to sharpen. The drill doctors might not do it like it's supposed to. When it's dull, give it to me, and I'll replace it. I mean, you can't get no better than that. You cannot.
So your guy will replace them because they're dull.
Yes, because you got things kind of different. The tips is where it's at. You know, that's kind of the secret to that whole thing, you know. So if I can't sharpen a regular, or I guarantee a drill doctor won't sharpen that tip the way they're made. So, and in my business, now, if I was a home consumer in their garage, would I give $340 for drill bits? If I didn't do a lot of work, probably not. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to. In my business, I'm going to get every penny out of those lifetime bits. I promise you. So.
Well, you're like me. I've got a box that's got enough drill bits in it. You know, Irwin drill bits and just different brands.
I showed my drill bits one time. I bet I've got over 200 drill bits. I bet I do. And I think I talked to Robert Waters on here one time. He said the drill doctors do work. So I do still need to invest in ones. But the only thing I don't use I can't use my Matco bits is I think it only goes up to what, 1/2 inch or something like that. Anything over that, Kimbrough Midwest, I have a drill bit set, and it goes up to 1 inch. And I don't know if they offer any kind of special. Matco does any bits over, you know, that size with that kind of warranty, but very seldom do I use anything that big in my business anyway. So, and of course, one of the best things I ever made was the step bit, the Christmas tree bits. I bought a Matco one for $65. Of course, they make different sizes of those, whatever. It's lifetime warranty too. So how can you go wrong with those?
I know Michael, he don't hardly, you know, he warranties them if they're broken, not if they're dull. So,
well, there's ways around that too.
It's easy to break a drill bit, right?
So, that's right.
But,
Tailgate
but those hyper step bits, they're awesome.
Oh, I love them. Let me ask you, Clay, if you do this. like with that Christmas tree bit, do you pre-drill a hole? A lot of people don't. They use them as drill bits. I just can't get in my mind to do that. I always have to like drill a hole first.
Yeah, I don't. Well, a lot of times though, when I use it, we've already got a little hole that's there, and we may need to step it up. But
yeah, but if you have smooth surface, would you use that Christmas tree bit to drill a hole to a?
Probably not because of the way the point is. I wouldn't.
I am. So you can though. I wouldn't do it, but I love those bits right there. I absolutely love those bits.
The first time I seen them, I thought it was going to be like a gimmick deal.
Look at that.
I
How
thought
do
it
you
was going to
sharpen
be kind of
that?
like a gimmick.
I mean, that'd be
I thought it was going
impossible.
to be a gimmick.
How
But
about
they work.
let me ask you this, and let me ask the chat this. And this is something I do not own. What's up, Walter Frederick? A lot of people in here. We're not being unfriendly. We're just got a conversation going. So, what about the drill bits? You talking about being skeptical or something like that? What about the drill bits that have the tap made into them? They drill and tap the hole at the same time. I mean, would it be worth it?
That's the Kimball Midwest bits.
Trick, you'd have to own so many of those drill bits. And do they work? Will they hold up? All right, your take on it.
Well, the guy from Kimball Midwest, that's who made the set that we demoed. He brought them here, and he demoed them in probably 3/16 sheet metal or steel, and it worked fine. But he also broke it the first time he tried it. So he left like 3 different sizes for us to play with and see what we thought about them. And he told me, he said, I'll cut you a good deal on them if you like them when I come back next week.
Didn't want none, did you?
We didn't buy. No, they break really easy because once that threaded part starts, that's when it always broke. Yeah. So you'd have to.
You're trying to, I understand. I mean, if you're in that big a hurry where you're trying to drill and tap, then you probably need to slow down anyway. I just don't see, you'd have to have so many because we got coarse thread, fine thread, metric, and there's so many different, there's 3 or 4 different metric pitches for each thing. So I just can't see where that would be, that'd be feasible, to be honest with you. And anybody knows, if you ever break a drill bit or worse, a tap off in a hole, you're almost done. You know what I'm saying? You can't hardly drill a tap out. So,
yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
It's bad.
Drill bits, not sure the brand. Let's see here. Self-starting bits he's talking about don't work on broken bolts.
I disagree. I disagree 100% on that. I used this set on a broken bolt, and it was probably the easiest broken bolt I ever drilled out.
Yeah. Not only that is, I'm gonna tell you something I had a long time ago, and that was Snap-on's. It was a little red set, and it was a left-hand drill bit, and for each bit beside it had the little, I think it was a square ease out. If you break an ease out, you screw too, you know. But before you could really even use the ease out, the left-handed drill bit would most of the time would grab a hold of it and turn it out.
Like this set? I got that set.
Mine was in a hard case when I had them years ago. Yeah.
Now they're cheap there. They don't snap on the bag anymore on the outside. They do put it on the inside.
Is that left-handed bit?
Mm-hmm. And then you use the little square-looking taps to get them out.
A lot of times you never had to use it. I didn't. I would step it up to the next size, like drill it, and step
That's
up next
what I
size,
do.
and it
and
would
the left-handed brief bits take it out. Yeah.
Walk it out so pretty.
Yep. Yeah, that those hyper step bits, I hadn't seen anything that they didn't drill out good yet. Andy was talking about it with stainless steel screws the other day. I don't know because I've never drilled stainless steel screws. I did drill through some stainless steel plate with it, and it did fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know how well it do on bolts or screws.
Mike Hyde said, weld over the broken tap and drill a new hole next to it. Sometimes you can't drill a hole. Sometimes it's got to be in the exact place. Walter Frederick said, I have broken taps. I stop when feeling resistance. Yeah, you kind of, Junior Little, welcome, Junior. Nice to see you. Diamond bit is the only thing. We'll drill a tap out. Been there, done that. Yeah, that's a bad day at work though when you break a tap out. Hey John, how are you? But Carlyle will take a tap out. But that goes back to, I guess, experience. We've all been young. We've always all been dumb. But you know that you've got to use oil, go in a few rounds, back out a few rounds.
Start over.
I was kind of worried about when I was talking about those drill bits with the taps made onto them. You're talking about a lot of speed, even if you're not pulling the trigger, all at once or whatever. I couldn't see that working. I couldn't see it working.
Yeah, they every one of them that was here broke. So
yeah, wonder what that guy felt like as doing a demonstration coming by that day. He went out to the car and said, "My dad, when he worked across for the John Deere dealership, he said, people always come by. Let me get, they'd have them slick sales pitches and they rehearsed them and set them 200 or 300 times. He's like, let me use this wax on your car. You can set your hood on fire, blah, blah, blah." He put this stuff on and set the hood on fire and he couldn't put it out. They had to call the fire department. And he was like, it was one of the worst. Yeah, then they didn't want to pay for the car and all that. I thought, man. So I guess demonstrations have went a lot worse is what I'm saying. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he come in here and he's like, I got the best drill bits. I said, no, I've got the best drill bits. Like, I thought he was going to sell regular drill bits, I'm like, look, man, I spent $600 something in drill bits in 2 weeks. I ain't buying no more drill bits. He's like, oh, these will drill and tap the hole at the same time. I said, well, let me look at them.
But like
the first one.
Think of how many different pitches you'd have to have. I mean, on every size, quarter 20, quarter 28, 5/16, whatever it is, 14 and 20 and 7/16, 16. I mean, you'd have to have so many different drill bits.
Like a 5-gallon bucket full of drill bits with a spiral inside.
Now, if you did something soft metal and you was in some kind of factory where you use the same size, 1/2 by 13 all day or something like that, I guess I could see where you could punch them out. But I'm going to say if it's a factory that big, they got some kind of
machine that pops them on.
Yep.
But I was actually wanting to know, and they don't have it on here. I was hoping they'd have the free spin RPMs on the packaging like they did on the Carlyle one, but they didn't put it on there.
20 volt, Clay. 60 volts.
Yep. There's a lot of difference in it.
I mean,
these impacts are bad.
Can you equate? I mean, I don't understand. I guess I'm not understand. Is that for more longevity of the battery? Does that equate to more power? Where does that extra voltage go? That's what I want to know.
I think a lot of it has to do, and I may be wrong, but they said that Milwaukee, everybody has to pay them royalties on the battery rights or something. I don't know. I know Snap-on in Milwaukee had a big lawsuit over that, but I don't know. Maybe it's to get around that.
Yeah, I just it seems it's 3 times the volts there, and I'd like to know if that makes for the. Have you noticed? Have you used them at any kind of longevity? Where it goes, hey, this lasts a whole lot longer. I don't have to charge as much or anything like that.
This is still the same battery on the same amount of charge as when I started with it.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
I charged it up and then we used it in an impact test and we used it playing around with it, just goofing off with it. And then we did a full transmission job where we replaced the swinger bearing and everything on that. And we've used it on a couple of cars, taking tires off, doing brake jobs or whatever. But I haven't charged the battery yet. I'm going to wait till it dies before I charge it, just kind of get an idea how long it'll last.
I'm glad I threw that because a lot of the I don't hear smart people like Andy. He says higher voltage, lower amperage. Okay, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. Motors should be more efficient. He says so. It probably is. That's what I'm saying. When you got something 3 times the the voltage. Somebody says Corey's. Where did I see? Somebody Leverage TV said Clay's connection's a little rough. It might be because he's got a higher. His is trying to process a little clearer or crisper, and plus he's the host of this show, so it might be a little more etchy than mine is because mine don't take a lot of. It don't have to do a lot of thinking. I got my quality's rougher. His quality's better, but anyway. PCB Pat Clark Barnes says Milwaukee has a patent on the 18-volt batteries. They get royalties on every one sold, regardless of the brand. So
there you go. That's a good reason. I wouldn't want to have to pay somebody to let me use the 18 volts or whatever.
So they're making it on both ends, whether they sell their brand or somebody else sells that one. You're on 18 volt. Jack's Auto Repair. I do like my 14.4, but if you have no Snap-on dealer, I wouldn't recommend it over Milwaukee. Buy what's available.
Absolutely not.
Me and Clay, we're good friends, and we both own the same thing, the Snap-on and the Milwaukee. But on the 3H drive, he always was biased to the Snap-on, and I always was to the Milwaukee for our own reasons. Now, I had to agree with him. The paddle switch is wonderful, but I just love the idea that you can buy the Milwaukee for a fraction of the price, for a lot longer warranty, and as much power, if not more. So that's why I love it. But now tell me this, and I've never exercised my Milwaukee warranty, but a lot, and y'all can tell us too, because there's 78 people watching. So this is when we can do a pretty good census. If you've ever used your Milwaukee warranty to any extent, I'm not talking something that's failed in 2 or 3 months, but like something 2 years down the road, is it prorated or is it not? I always heard it was. Like a 5-year warranty isn't a 5-year warranty. So I don't know. So I know this. If you have let's say you buy it off of most Milwaukee, truck guys sell off maybe a Cornwell dealership or something like that. If you buy enough from that particular dealer, he's going to make it right regardless. He's not going to make you mad. He's thinking, you know what? I could eat a couple $100. Here's your new gun, Jay Young, or something like that. But as far as sending it to the factory, I'd like to know if it's prorated. Fulcrum says prorated. Diesel Dr. Matt says Milwaukee for price, warranty, and availability.
Well, the reason why I had 2 CT761s because I bought the first one and I let the smoke out of it. And while it was being sent off, I actually bought another one to use till it come back. I had the Milwaukee at the time, but I just wasn't a fan of that big body on an impact. So when Hamilton showed up the next week, I bought another CT761. I put the Milwaukee in my truck. I would catch myself not going to the truck to get that gun when I was working out of my truck and would go in the shop to get the CT761. I said, this is stupid. So then Matthew decided he wanted to be 100% Milwaukee, put his up for sale. I bought Matthew's impact, put it in my pickup. This is how crazy this turned out. Now, I already had 2 that eventually came back that I had my real card. While that impact was sent off, which it's not been that long ago, Matthew's got a wonderful memory. He'll probably be able to tell you pretty close to how long it was that was sent off. I bought another one to replace the one that was sent off. So when it come back, I put one in my pickup and one in one service truck. And then I bought that other CT761, got it from you, Jason, and that went in the other service truck. So that way I got
that one. I gave you that one, I think, didn't I?
Yeah.
I gave you a 7. That shows you how much I don't. I had one. I think I gave you the newer one. I said, don't marry me. And I had 2, and I was like, I don't really need it. You done gave me $1,000 worth of Milwaukee stuff. Here, you take this. You like these? You take one of them, So how many of those do you have?
I actually bought the cool one. I've got 4 3/8, and then I've got 4 3/8, 1 1/4 inch, and then I've got 2 ratchets.
You got the quarter from Matthew, I think you did. I can't remember if you did or not.
No, I bought it maybe the quarter.
Because I was like, why are you buying a 1/4 inch? Because it's the same body and blah, blah, blah. Why are you buying a quarter? So
yep.
I wouldn't buy a quarter.
And then I've got like 3 of those screw guns or the 1/4 inch impact drivers. I got one that I leave at home. I've got one here. Actually, I got two here because I've got the new one that's built like the CT761 that's supposed to hammer harder or whatever. Then I've got the old style with the slip clutch on it.
Okay, so because the impact doesn't run as long as a drill, and a drill doesn't run, you know where I'm going with this, doesn't run as long as a roll-lock disc or polisher, I'm sure it has the same motor set up. A lot of y'all might have watched my video where my polisher / roll-lock disc thing. Now, Clay kept burning through a lot of those 14.4 roll-lock disc polishers. But when I bought mine, the guy said, you want the polisher kit? It's $80 more. I'm like, no, I don't. I've got a buffer. You can keep the polisher, take the price off. So I would just use mine for roll-lock disc, taking off water pump gaskets and different things. But I never ran it for a longevity amount of time. Well, Clay Wood polishing aluminum tanks, you know, fuel tanks and different things. He was smoking the crap out of them. Well, he kept saying, I said, dude, I don't have no problem. Well,
I was using mine on headlights.
Yeah, shouldn't have said anything because I had mine about 2 years and I started smoking like his does. I said, oh, yeah. So I thought, what am I going to do with it? I thought, I know what I do. Let's see if we can figure the problem out. So if you go to my channel, and shameless plug, by the way, and bust the casing open, it's a plastic fan in there. And when that motor gets hot, you know what happens when something gets hot around something plastic? It kind of distorts and melts, and then it's over from there. So if they would have just spent a little more money on some kind of aluminum fan or something like that, they would have a perfect product. I mean, a perfect product.
How much do you think they saved, honestly, by going with that plastic fan?
It might not be as much as they saved. Well, here's the thing. Okay, like me, they anticipated me buying another replacement. Because if they put another fan for another 15 cents, I would still be running the same thing. Now, on you, how much did they lose by keep feeding you guns? You know what I'm saying? So you would think they would spend another 15 cents and put some kind of little aluminum fan and be done with it. And then, again, there's always a weakest point. I don't know where it would be at that point, but, I mean, it's an awesome setup. It's an awesome platform. Nobody can deny that. It's an awesome platform.
Here's where I think Snap-on should take a step back and look at it like, all right, let's take this right here, for example. What are these brand new with 2 batteries and impact? You know, 2 batteries and impact and a charger. Brand new.
About, what are they about? Depending on if you buy them from Home Depot or off the truck. I think a guy who worked for me spent about $500 something. But I think you can buy them from Home Depot for around $4 or something, I'm guessing. So I don't know. You gave me mine. I don't know.
The Snap-on would be, let's just say $900. Yeah, $800, $900, whatever. Where does it come in that, hey, I'm the leader in tools. I'm supposed to be the best there is. But yet I'm 15 cents a profit for me to put an aluminum fan in there is going to be a deal breaker.
And I think one's brushed and one's brushed. Yeah. So that's kind of crazy. That's kind of nuts. And the way you got to look at it, also, you can buy 2 of those for what you can buy that one for. So, yeah. I don't know. That's the way I look at a lot of stuff, you know. Why are you offering something for twice the price, for half the warranty, and for the same amount of power? Maybe not even that. You might even fall short in the power. That's where you're living off your reputation. So, and they deserve that. They've had a hell of a, I mean, they got a hell of a reputation. So every now and then they can live off their reputation. But if you do it enough, people's going to get wise to it. Everybody's in the lifetime warranty game. That was their one thing. They offer lifetime warranty. Well, now everybody, Harbor Freight's offering lifetime warranty. 2, they had trucks that come around. Look at Matco, look at Cornwell, look at Mac, look at Gear Wrench. They even got trucks coming around. So I don't think trucks are the answer. I'm going to be honest with you. I've always thought, you know, that set location is even better than a truck. But, I mean, here's what I'm saying. Snap-on's not doing anything. Everybody else is catching up. Like you said, they set the standard. Everybody else is catching up. And I have to.
Well, that's just like with, you know, the flank drive plus ratchets. Okay. I don't own a metric set of the, the 8 to 19 or whatever. Mine, you know what brand they are?
What's that?
Let me go show you.
I didn't really understand the flank drive and flank drive plus until Hassel one time schooled me on it. And, plus ain't always a good thing, because what it'll do, if you're working on something kind of that you can leave it, like if you're working on a show car, you don't want to use plus on anything, because what it's going to do is sculpt the things and all that. Yeah. But if you're working on take off, yeah.
Let's see how good people's.
I can see the teeth. Mm-hmm.
What brand? Let's see how good people's tool knowledge is. Now these are my everyday drivers. These are the ones I keep in my road car.
I see an S on the wrench, so I don't know what that would be. What starts with an S, y'all?
Nope.
No, it starts. I seen an S, dude. I seen an S.
Oh, no, you didn't either.
That's a 19 millimeter. Never mind. I'm gonna say that is is it a Carlyle, guys?
No, it's not an Icon. These were out way before Icon.
Huh? What's that other good wrench brand? There's another good gear wrench is one. That's a good, but I don't think
people's killing it in the comments. They knew what it was.
Carlyle. Yeah. That's a good looking wrench. That's a good looking wrench. Yep. Let me ask you this.
These
are those lifetime warranty?
They are.
What's the difference in price? Not it's exact, but approximately several $100s.
Yeah.
You're looking at most time 8 through 19.
Bucks.
It's probably what, 8 through 19. That's it right there. Yeah. And it's ridiculous when they want $500 and $600 for an 8 through 19 set with lifetime warranty, and that set has the same warranty. I just can't justify it.
Well, I got my Snap-on sets. I bought them when they was on sale. They was 20 to 24. I think. Let me grab one of them.
Okay. I just can't justify when you're talking about a hand tool and it has the exact same warranty, almost the exact same fit and finish and chrome and feel and all that. Why would you want to spend
my everyday wrenches that I use, my standard wrenches, not ratcheting wrenches. My ratcheting wrenches are Snap-on, but they go 8 to 19. They're Carlyle. 20 to 24 are Snap-ons.
Man, I bet that costs
25 up to 36, I think, are back to Carlyle. But you can see.
Anytime you get, everybody knows this too. The bigger you go in size, and you talk about Snap-on, you talking about some bucks. You talking about some serious dollar bills, y'all.
There is a big difference of how the teeth are made in them. Like a big difference.
Explain more. Like how? Like one's better than the other?
Like, look how it's made.
Okay.
Right.
I see.
Here's the Snap-on.
So it looks like the Carlyle has grooves where them have actually angled slants where it almost dig into there.
Well, no, they're the same, but up here it's got like a deep groove at the top.
Okay.
And then it's got the little bitty grooves down here, but it's something to do with the space. And
yeah,
you can see how the Carlyle.
I guarantee you, there's a whole lot of thought process went in those designs of people a whole lot smarter than we are.
Well, I know one thing is for sure. I ain't had any issues out of these wrenches, and they was way cheaper. And I'm pleased with them. And if I do ever break or lose one, Napa comes to my shop like 15 times a day anyway.
They're not going out anytime soon. No, they're not going out anytime soon. Matthew Cox says, too rich for my blood. John Randall makes a comment, said Milwaukee makes wrenches like that too. I know they make wrenches. They're good looking wrenches, but do they make the Flank Drive Plus? I guess
they do. They look like them. I've got a set of them. It's in my service truck. It's in the shop next door, but they're almost identical.
Jack's Auto Repair says, I do know the gear wrench combination wrenches don't fit very well. Matco has a set on website for $150 cheaper than the Shorty set. I know my Matco wrench and the gear wrench truck, I know they'll sell as well those, what are Mountain Homes, or there's a company that sells some long wrenches too, you know.
Mountain Tool.
Mountain something like that. Yeah, I've always wanted to sell those wrenches. I don't know why. I don't know, for the extra leverage, you know.
Carlyle's got a set of those too.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. They look the same as the Mountain.
When's enough?
Corey,
when is enough enough? Like let's talk about those long wrenches. You can buy those long wrenches. When are you going? Or you can buy the extender. The extender. You picked one up for me. What brand was that? Monster. Yeah, you picked me up a wrench extender. So for leverage, I mean, when's enough to get the job done, or to make the job easier, or y'all see where I'm going with this? I mean,
I love the snap-on ratcheting wrenches, but these are probably my favorite snap-on wrenches that I own. This is the 1719, but I use these. Like, I love these wrenches, and one of the reasons why I like them is changing like compressor bolts on a pack car engine is so tight to get in there. These will get in there. Like, you're not going to get much of a turn on it. Maybe you might be able to get a quarter of a turn per try, but this is the key.
That's right.
That's the only reason I bought that set of wrenches.
Zero offset, but it's offset to one side. It don't have no angle, but it's got enough. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. So sometimes the initial all you got to do anyway, you know, to break it loose. Yeah. But
Corey says the Carlyle Flank Drive 9 to 19 is on sale right now for $74.97 at Napa.
That's cheap.
$75.
That is cheap. Chris Freeman says, good to see Mr. Young and Mr. Koon on the same live stream. We love it. We love each other. I can tell you that.
It was a pain in the butt to figure out how to do this, though. I'm not even going to lie.
Felix Martinez says Carlyle 92 and Mountain are 72. I did not know that. Did you?
The Carlyle are really nice. I'm probably going to pick up a set of those because I could see how that would be super handy to have ratchet.
You know, everybody talks about rebrands, but I mean, let's think about it. All it does is it opens up more opportunities for us. If we got on a let's just say a Snap-on truck or Matco. Matco is a better example because they do have more rebrands. But if we got on a Matco truck and we only seen things made by Matco, that would be a slim truck. You know what I'm saying? And even all taps and dies, just about drill bits, all that is made by Irwin. So, you know, I don't mind, and I've said this 1,000 times, I don't mind spending more on Matco or Snap-on for Irwin's tap and die set. I might spend another $70 or $80, but Irwin has cut their warranty back and said, look, if you buy Irwin from us, we're going to give you a 1-year warranty. Or you can buy it from Matco and you have a lifetime warranty. Matco is going to absorb the cost, whatever. I'll spend that $70 every single time. Every single time. So,
well, do you remember that light? I don't even know where mine's at, but it's a little magnetic Snap-on light that I had, you know, that swivels back and forth. That was red plastic, like the green one you have.
Yeah, well, I got two of them. One ratchet display, and the other one, a guy took off in his truck with it stuck up underneath. He used it. He says he's going to bring it back. But I know the light you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I thought Snap-on made that light.
Who makes it more?
They don't. I'm going to have a video coming out pretty soon. It's going to show that light. and several other of the Snap-on lights.
I will tell you,
Snap-on don't make that light.
And I got a bad memory. Bruce Allen did a video on who made that light a long time ago. And I forgot who it was, but he did a video a long time ago saying who made that light. But remember, I made funny about we did a parody video about lights. Remember that was what that was. You know,
that was in that one. Yeah.
But and of course, you know, lights are like any other electronic component. Snap-on, Matco said they got a very limited amount of warranty. I am so surprised that a Streamlight has a lifetime warranty. I mean, that blows my mind. What else electrical has lifetime warranties? I mean, I got this little bad boy that I would spend $55 on all day, every day for one time. And then I got a $340 one in my truck, you know, that will shine from here to seem like a mile away. But
so you like the little one better than the big one?
Got the same lumens almost, or pretty much the same lumen. Look at it. And you know, I used to carry that one. And I bought probably 10 of them for my employees and friends and all that. I love it. I absolutely love it.
But, you know, I had the blue one that was like this before I bought this one, and it was just 90 lumens. It didn't have the, you know, the double click feature where you could make it brighter or whatever.
Does that one have the reverse clip? Do that right there? Yeah. I love that. I love that feature. I love it.
So I bought one of those lights that you have before I bought this one. And I just didn't, it didn't feel, it's too little.
I love it. It fits in my hand perfect. Look at the nook, I love this. I love it.
It was just too small. So I went back and got this one. So
I love it. So.
I like it. And I kind of was against the green. This is kind of funny. Like I bought this one like maybe a month before we got our uniforms. I was kind of against the green. I wanted the orange one where I could see it easier if I dropped it.
Right. And
he didn't have one. So it was either this or a black one. And I'm like, there's no way I want a black one. So
they even got they got an OD tan one now, you know, like it looks like dirt. That's to be the last color I want, because you drop in the dirt somewhere, you're never finding that sucker. I even wore my button out, you know, my little plunger button or whatever. But I'm the type of guy, I'm not gonna, if something's little wrong with it, I'm gonna deal with it. I don't want to cost my dealer no money. You know what I'm talking about? Like, them dealers have problems, y'all. I mean, I know it seems like your dealer's making tons of money and collecting, and some of them might be, but I'm not going to try to cost my dealer no money. So anyway, I'm gonna use it as far as I can use it, and when it dies, I'll say, here, give me another one. So I love it.
I know, you know, a lot of people, you know, Snap-on makes everything. Snap-on rebrands just like, you know, everybody else does. You know, they can say they don't. In fact, those wire strippers, I think you got a pair of them, and I got a pair of them.
3 pair.
And I thought Snap-on made those. I really did. I thought Snap-on made them. And I was at Napa last week waiting on some parts, and I picked up the Carlyle brand.
They're made a little different. Now, I did a video on that, I think, on my first channel. They're a little different, and I would still choose the Snap-on versus the Carlyle.
Really?
I have a pair of Carlyle and then 3 of those other ones, and I really like the Snap-on ones. Also, the Matco, have you seen the Switchblade Matco ones? I got a set of those. Yeah. I kind of like those. And then what else was I going to say? But so I would still, the grips made a little different, and the finishes made a little different. Is it going to make a lot of difference? Is it going to make it's twice the price?
They felt the same. They felt the same. The grips were, you know, sort of the textured rubber like Carlyle does on all their grips instead of the smooth.
Go get mine.
But everything else felt the same to me. Like I'm gonna say, if you put those red slick rubber grips on the Carlyle, you couldn't tell them apart.
Now, I got the Carlyle back there. I got the Carlyle back there in my son's box, whatever. But I love these things right here so much. You can see I own 3 pair of them. Nobody needs to own 3 pair of anything like that. But I absolutely love these suckers. But I also, my Matco man talked me in these. These is a crimping side right here. And then I just like, like you're at a bar. You want to mess with me? I'll strip you, And I just love the coolness factor of that. But back to
you need to take that to a strip bar.
That's right. You will never own another pipe wrench if you ever buy PWZs. Ever. Will you, Clay?
No.
But I don't know if it's this pair, but if you scroll on down, you will see. You can't see it in my camera. Let's see here. But can you see where that says Baco right there? See that right
that's there? What I was going to tell you.
Baco right there. You got to scroll on down, but you'll see that right there. Who makes it? That's a Knipex, right?
Well, these are the Napa or the Matco Knipex, but they are Knipex.
Yeah. Who makes
in
those?
my opinion, Knipex.
Oh, so Knipex. Yeah.
In my opinion, my personal opinion, I think 3 different PWZs.
You're gonna win this. You've owned these before, right?
Yeah, I've still got them. Yeah,
I've never owned those, so you're gonna win this debate. Yeah, okay. They'd have to be
I
badass.
prefer these. Now,
okay.
let me back up. Okay, first of all, if I was doing like larger nuts, the PWZs win.
Okay.
Hands down on anything that it can grip that's got a little bit of just a little bit of a flat spot. They're the best. If you're trying to pull out studs or you're wanting to pull out something round. Or you're trying to turn a piece of pipe,
I can see that.
There's no comparison. Okay. These will grip. Like you can see metal stuck in that steel.
Now, look at the jaws between the two. These are flat and them have like a little angle kickback. I can see that.
These, and I know Matthew's going to know what I'm talking about on changing airbags. There's a stud that screws, there's like a plastic bail that goes up in the airbag and it kind of wraps down over it. But there's a plastic in the middle of that plastic, there's a stud that goes in there, and the nut goes on the bottom under the frame. That stud, most of the time, is a pain in the butt to try to get out. Yeah, those right there, it's got a space about that wide for you to grab it with a pair of pliers or PWZs or whatever. And that's the reason why we actually bought these. I did a video on it. I was using my PWZs and was having a hard time getting that stud out because it was bad, rusty. It was a piece of crap truck, as most stuff that we get to work on. And Matco Michael shows up. He's like, "Hey, I got a pair of these. You need to try these on that." He walks on the truck and gets it. And I said, "If they'll pull this stud out,
you'll buy them.
I'll buy them." This is no crap. Bill opened them up to like right there. He stuck it on there and just, they're made like PWZs. You just have to push this one side. You don't have to squeeze it. When he pushed it, it never slipped.
If y'all don't own these, you lock on here, you don't have to use no pressure right here. There's no strength move right here. You basically, the way it's designed, you just push right here and the pressure kind of, it just kind of transfers that. It's awesome. It's awesome.
So I ended up buying them and I have not regretted it. But I know there's another tool. I use mine daily. And I remember when me and you was working on that backhoe, you said, "Oh, I've never used them. They're too pretty to use." You remember what I'm talking about?
My crescent wrenches.
No. Yeah, the adjustable thumb wrenches. So I use mine.
Yeah. I use them now.
See, I use mine daily. And so I got ready to buy a set for the service truck, and I'm like, man, I hate to spend $300, 3 wrenches to go on the service truck.
Mine's $4.
So I did a little looking, and the Baco or whatever, that the same people that make the PWZs, they make those for them.
Now, see, they're made in Sweden. I know they're made in Sweden.
Well, I got them off of eBay, and I bought the big one, the 12-inch and the 10-inch, and 8-inch, I think, is the ones it was. But they're a black rubber handle instead of the red, of course. But I think it was right at $95 I paid for all 3 sets of those, and you cannot tell them apart other than the color of the handle. They're the same part.
And they're and like you said, I would always revert to and they was name brand. My other crescent wrenches, they was nice. I don't like a junk crescent wrench. I don't like. If it's got a floppy head, I'll throw it away, whatever. But or make some whatever. But so that you're right. When we was messing with all those lines and all that, I'm like, Clay, I don't really use those right there. But he's like, what do you mean you don't use them? I'm like, I don't like to get my handles greasy. He's like, you kidding me? I'm like, no, I'm not kidding you, dude. Them things $300-something. I mean, which is ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous.
Man, I'm probably the worst of anybody about cleaning my tools up. And when you said that, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. You got to get some tub towels, man. You got to get some tub towels.
Let's see what the chat's talking about in here. I wish all these tool options were available when I started. That's true. Earlier in life, then I might have $20K in debt right now. That's true. Like I said, Matthew, everybody like Carlyle and who else? Some of the other one, Gear Wrench. Some of the other strong companies. Oh, I'm missing out. Like, of course, Knipex is in the plier. Milwaukee makes good wrenches. We talked about that mountain, whatever. You can buy. Everybody's in the freaking lifetime warranty game now. Everybody.
You gotta have a lifetime.
Y'all might put me on a stake right now and nail me to something or whatever. I don't care. But I will fight for the Harbor Freight impact sockets until my last breath. I love those things. I love those Harbor Freight Pittsburgh Pro impact sockets. I do. I haven't broken one yet. I haven't. So.
Well, this is one of the things. They're made in Spain.
I told you that's the one. Is that their knockoffs?
No, this is the snap-on ones, the ones I have in my box.
Those suckers are.
The thing I like, look how wide those open up. This is the non-flank drive ones, the non-flank drive pair. But they're the same length.
I think
the same length.
Yeah, but let me tell you this.
This is the flank drive teeth in the regular. But look how wide that opens up. That's crazy.
You can feel the head weight, kind of like a hammer, a carpenter's hammer, or framing nail. You can feel the weight. You don't have any shake. A lot of cheap crescent wrenches, it don't have a lot of wiggle and all that. You don't have that with those. I love them.
Yeah, I love these too. I use these a lot. Like I'll use these most of the time. Well, on our transmission jack, for a prime example, we have the OPC. It's got the big nut on the back. When it's got weight on it, you can't hardly turn it. You're not going to turn it with a handle, but we use these. We put it. It's got a nut on the back side of the handle. We put it on there, and you can do it with a regular wrench, but it's a pain in the butt because of the way the roll pin goes through it.
Yeah,
you're always having to fight with it. So we just use these.
That is cool. Let's see.
But one of my other favorite Knipex tools that I own are these right here. Of course, this is the Matco brand too. But man, I love these things.
That basically takes the place of the crescent wrench, but with more options. It really does. Pat Clark Barnes says there is always a cheaper option. Back in the day, it was Craftsman. It was. It was either Snap-on or Craftsman or junk. There was nothing else. There was nothing else. And then slowly people like SK and people like that started coming along and getting in the game. What's the other? There was I think, oh gosh, where was that place at? They make a lot of tools. Come on, guys. Who is it? People who it's umbrellaed and they make a lot of tools for like Matco and all that. I can't think what the name is. You know what I'm talking about, Clay? There's a factory over here because a local scrapyard used to haul their scrap off, their waste. I can't remember. Apex. Yep. Apex tools. Mm-hmm. Yep. They used to make a lot of tools and kind of would umbrella, a different a lot of different brands under their tools. So, yep, that's who it is, Matthew. Sure is.
Well, I know as far as impact sockets, the gray pneumatic are amazing.
Yep.
Those duo sockets, man, I love them. I've got the master metric 3/8 set or whatever in my pickup. I mean, it's a long, skinny gray plastic box, and man, it's perfect. That is the perfect set of sockets.
I gotta take a wee. So.
Yeah, you're talking about those plier wrenches. I love these right here. They are super awesome. Super awesome. Yeah, Fortive owns Matco. Yes, they are great. I've got a small pair too, and I keep the little bitty, the baby Knipex Cobras in my pocket all the time. Frankie M. Yeah, Tailgate Tech. These would come in handy for you, especially on some of the trucks you work on. They're really nice. I enjoy them a lot. I don't know, like I was talking about those Bacho or whatever the name brand that actually builds these, that does the PWZs too. You know, everybody wants to, just because it's got Snap-on on it, you know, they want to rip on Matco for rebranding tools or Carlyle or whoever, and Snap-on's just as guilty as anybody else, and right there's a prime example of it. So. Yes, there will be a Snap-on video. Our dealer did not run this week, but we did a video on a Snap-on tool that will release this afternoon. And of course, we do have the Matco video that will come out tomorrow.
You know, one thing that we've talked about with YouTube, and even myself, because I know a lot. Well, I mean, I knew my tools, my sizes, and all that. But before YouTube, I didn't know who made what. You know what I'm talking about? Like other options, like we're talking about. Prime example, dead blow hammers. I absolutely love Snap-on dead blow hammers. I have 12 of them. I've had more than that, and I've given some away or whatever. But Trusty Cook, another company who makes some identical to Snap-on. I mean, I've even heard some people say that they make them for Snap-on, but I don't believe that's true. But anyway, but YouTube not only has opened up a lot of camaraderie, of course, me and you become best friends and all that, but it's opened up, like we saw, these are made by Botco. There's some young technician out there somewhere that's wanting a pair of these that can go to Amazon and look up Botco and get them for a whole lot less. So I've learned, YouTube's taught me a crap ton. So a crap ton.
One thing that's interesting, you know, I've noticed this like the very first time I picked it up. Do y'all notice anything different about the way this impact's made versus?
Is it the angle of the way the angle is?
The angle here, like all of these,
straight
90 degrees.
Yeah, I do notice that it's kicked back a little bit. Yeah.
Even the Carlyle is a straight 90.
Okay, I see that.
So I'm interested in it. Actually takes some of the strain off your wrist. Is what's strange about it. You wouldn't think it would, but it kind of puts more back pressure on it, I guess. But it'll be interesting to see how this angle works under a large load.
Of course, everything is case by case. I work on tractors, you work on cars and trucks and big trucks and all that. So what you got to do to get the perfect recipe or the fitment is to make something so ambidextrous that it feels good in everybody's hand. It fits in a lot of, majority of the places and stuff like that. So when you master that and you got the right breakaway and the right force, then and I think honestly, all three of those companies you can't go wrong with. You can't. So.
Yeah, I agree. you have to tell everybody about the little secret on the hydraulic lines that we did that day at your shop while we was working on that backhoe.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we was working on some hydraulic lines that had some I don't know how familiar you are with hydraulic fittings and like the FJXs and MJs and all that. So an MJ is a male thread, and the FJX is a cone thread, and the way they work and tighten up against each other. But we was working on a backhoe that this thing had, since it was new, we were replacing all the cylinders, having rebuilt and all that. Since it was new, they'd never been taken off. And we had the right size wrenches, and we was like, hammering out and trying to pull, and lines was bending and everything else. I'm like, I don't know what we're going to do. Like, I don't know. You don't want to put heat to nothing like that. Would it took it apart? Yeah, but would it, maybe distort the nut or something like that? Possibly something like that, get the oil hot and all that stuff. So I was like, and I'd never tried this before. So I thought, any kind of vibration, kind of like the way impact works when it's hitting and hammering and stuff like that, jarring things loose. So I, bought a Matco air hammer, medium barrel, and I love it. So I put a short stopper on there with a flat bit. And I thought, well, let's try this, Clay. It won't hurt nothing. So what I did was, took the air hammer and I would, I did it in a couple places on that nut, just kind of hitting on that nut a few times. You can ask Clay.
The flat side.
On the flat side. The female side. Ask Clay. You could do this right here, couldn't you, Clay? And we had to do every single one of them like that. So if you ever run across some hydraulic,
you can almost undo them.
Yeah,
you can almost undo them by hand.
Yeah, if you ever run across some hydraulic lines that are that tight and you're putting out everything you got and it's bending lines, these were steel lines, and it'd probably be even worse for rubber lines because they're trying to dance around with you and everything else. But pull your air hammer out and kind of hammer on the female side. Clay said, I never thought of that. I said, hell, I never thought of it. I mean, we was about out of options. So.
And what's funny, you remember you didn't own an air hammer, and I said, you need to buy one. I'm telling you, them things are worth their weight in gold.
I want to tell you some of the best times I've used my air hammer. I work on a lot of drive shafts. If you'll notice one video you did, like a day in the life, where I'm taking a dead blow snap-on hammer and I'm hitting on top of the other one, trying to get that yoke off, after the roll pin's out. Now I lock it down in my snap-on vise, and I'll take the air hammer and dance all around it. And it'll work it off, kind of like working pants off a fat girl. Man, I love it.
That's what I told you that day. I said, if you'll buy an air hammer, you'll thank me later.
Oh my God! Yeah. I just one. I didn't see the need, and now I pull it out for any. The second day I had mine, we was a guy had a service call out at the pallet company, and he was trying to get something off, and I went out there and looked at it, and I thought, I'll be right back. And I went and got it, and I had it off just like that. And he's like, wow. And I was like, yeah, acts like I knew what I was doing. I was like, yeah, like I did that. I do this all the time. I'm like, oh, man, that sucker just paid for itself. But
oh, man, if we got a big truck, like changing exhaust, we've had several people come in here with tall stacks that's rusted out toward the top, and they wanted to, make them the turn downs under the truck. I don't fight with them son of a guns. I get that air hammer with a chisel bit on there. Zip.
That's something bad.
I'm not fighting it.
I would be scared to see what the long barrel does. I would be scared to see what a long barrel does.
That's what I have. I have a couple of different ones.
I spent $400 on my Matco one, and let me go ahead and address this. I know it looks like I have a business. I have plenty of money and blah blah blah, which can't be further from the truth. And we wouldn't buy any of these tools, whether it be Snap-on, Matco, or anything else, if they're in the financing business. And when I say financing business, the truck they don't charge any interest rate, but they will. It's kind of the reason why it's so high, and we've talked about this a million times. It's figured into the cost. So that air hammer, you might be able to buy it off Amazon for $250. Okay, good luck.
Yeah.
You can spend $250 at one time. Go for it, buddy. But I'm going to spend $400 for it, and I'm going to pay $35 a week till I get paid for. And also, if it messes up, I'm going to talk to the same guy that sold it to me. We're Amazon guy. Good luck with that. So, if they did not finance or did not work on weekly payments, I wouldn't have the tools I got. But I've got them. I don't owe for any of my tools, and that's how the what do you say? The cow eats the cabbage. That's how it is. So
yep. Andy said they work great on dash panels, plastic dash panels.
Oh, yeah, I bet they do. Yeah, they'll get the dash right out of the way, won't they?
Like there's the long shank one, or whatever you call it, the long barrel, and then there's the medium barrel.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
So you got both what? One snap-on, Owens Capri?
Yep.
Okay. Man, they're hostas. I love them.
Dude,
Yeah, the only thing I thought about buying a oh, my mind's went blank. A pickle set. However, tie rod ends are so easy just using a hammer. I don't really see a lot of ends in. But I thought about buying a pickle fork set for mine. Where I can take
that's one of my favorite air hammer bits that I own.
You can do some riveting on right.
It's a Matco bit, and we got Michael to order. I actually got this one from Bill, and then Michael ordered a new one, and then Bill's like, "Give me that old one back," and I said, "No, you take the new one. I've already used that old one." Blah blah blah. But the part number on this one is an M127, and that is, in my opinion, one of the best, most useful air hammer bits.
You haven't seen old videos of bridges like the Golden Gate Bridge built, and they'll take these long holders, and they'll heat a rivet and throw it up, and the other ones will catch it, and all that, and they'll use the air hammers. That's the tractor on my showroom. The fenders, that's what we had to do to put it on the bracket. We would heat the rivet and then hold something solid against one side, and the rivet would be cherry red. We take the air hammer, and of course it'd be so flat it'd be there. And of course we sanded and painted. Looks like factory, but how would I do it any other way? I'd hate to know I was trying to hammer those rivets on. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, like this is one of my
2458 is in the house. JTEP is too. So.
This is one of my favorite tools that I own. And when I bought it, I didn't think I would use it as much.
I want one because you cannot always get that angle grinder where you want. I want one of them so bad. So bad.
That is probably one of the best air tools that I own.
Matco offers one. Aircat. Who is that like Harbor Freight or what?
No, it's their own company.
Oh, Aircat. How much was that sucker?
This one was like, I got it on a clearance on an online tool sale for like $140 something.
Dude, those
it was really cheap.
They are bad.
This one is actually rebranded, like a tool truck company rebrands this exact same one is the reason why I didn't get it.
Yeah.
So.
Man,
the arbor is a little bit big in it, so you have to be careful when you're buying the.
It's the same as
blade,
though, right? 5/8 toe.
Yeah, I think it's 5/8. I haven't end up getting.
Yeah, I think it's same as a 4.5 inch grinder. I think.
Yeah, see, I bought this pack and they wouldn't work on it.
Yeah, I love it.
The
only thing is, you better hold of that neck. It looks like I've never used one, but it looks like you better hold. You better have a hold of that neck because if it ever bites on something at a bad angle, it looks like it would jerk with you, for sure.
Yeah, they will. And we went through the deal when I was, looking for a bench grinder, and I ended up ordering the Jet bench grinder, just like the one you have. And man, I tried these.
Yeah, the roll-lock ones like that. Yeah.
But look who makes it.
I see Jet makes it, right?
Yeah, Jet. And that is a fine little piece of equipment too.
That's a good company. Jet's a good company.
It's real little and light.
It don't show no signs of slowing down. I promise you. It's done blew my brother's finger off and everything else. Remember?
Well, that's the reason why I bought mine. Well, not that it blew your brother's finger off, but because it's held up so well with you. And you remember when I ordered my Snap-on vise, I called you to find the model number because I wanted one just like it because I wanted that to be the last vise I ever had to buy.
Exactly. And then I showed you how to make the jaws last. That was good, putting the little things in it. So let's see. Matthew says Jet. I'll have to look them up. Matthew, they're not cheap. I'll tell you that. They're not cheap, but they're a good company. So what do you remember what that thing cost? It was like $600-700 maybe.
The grinder, the bench grinder. Yeah, it was like $600. It was fine.
They will, gosh, they last forever. They last forever. Aircat is owned by Florida Pneumatics, says Walter. Snap-on used to sell Aircat. Felix says, I like Aircat stuff. Johnny Ramirez says, Mac has some nice reach ones. Aircat is good. A lot of support here today. We appreciate it, guys. I got the Matco long barrel air hammer. Is there a Snap-on air hammer stronger, Clay? I hear conflicting reviews, but I love my Matco. I'm going to say, yeah, go ahead, Clay.
I don't know which one is stronger. I don't remember if it was Bruce or Garnett. It was one of those two. It may have been Garnett that did a Snap-on versus Matco air hammer video, and it's probably 2 years ago. And he tested it, and I remember he thought the Matco was stronger. I don't know. I don't own the Matco. I did buy the Snap-on. Of course, when I bought the Snap-on, that's when we had a terrible Matco dealer, so there wasn't any Matco purchases made at that time.
And what's sad is you can't compare an air hammer like you can a ratchet or a impact or anything like that. There's just no comparable. There's nothing like no two things is stuck exactly the same, if you know what I mean. So I'm sure they have some kind of RPMs or some kind of hit and strength or the way they gauge it and all that, but it's each to their own. So I'm happy with my medium barrel. Clay says, man, you need a long barrel, but I'm saying, no, do what I do. If he can't do it in that medium barrel, then I'll just cut something loose or something like that. Or so I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. So.
Well, I know every single week people ask me this same question. Who makes a better ratchet, Snap-on or Matco? And I don't know how to answer that because, honestly, they're both great ratchets. But it's kind of like who makes a better tennis shoe. Like you may like a Nike or I may like a Reebok, and Matthew may like an Adidas, and Tailgate Tech, he may think that, Converse is the king of tennis shoes, And
you got who will agree that Nike probably makes the best tennis shoe, but I've always also heard about the sweatshops and the whole Colin Kaepernick. I let other things kind of taint my buying power and all that. I'm not supporting a company like that, stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to factor in. So for sure, but that is a good question. That is a good question.
I've got a lot of ratchets.
Let's talk about teeth. So Snap-on does what? 88? No, that's Matco. 88. 80.
Goes 88.
80 for Snap-on, right?
80 dual pawl or something like that. That's what they call it.
120 is
gear wrench.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but what you got to understand is yeah, you might have finer teeth. That's good for tighter places, smaller turns if you're in a tight spot. But and I'm not saying finer teeth always fail, but if you're pulling on something that's that you're having to put a cheater pipe on or something like that, the finer teeth might not be the way to go. Then you got fit and finish. Some people they prefer chrome handles. Some people prefer soft grip. I mean, it's so many variables, guys. It's so at the end of the day,
here or
split heads. Yeah, exactly.
Well, 4. I've got 4 here that are pretty much the same ratchets. My personal favorite that I use every day right now is the Matco.
Okay.
The thin, this part is what I really like. But I like the lock on the Matco. Don't say me get away.
I remember, I think you saw my Matco ratchet when you fell in love with that, if I remember right.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bought one.
Yeah.
But, and I like the grip on the Matco better than I do the snap-on. I never thought I'd ever say that because I thought this was the most comfortable grip ever.
You thought
until I started.
Better, yeah. And tell y'all a little story. We hadn't had a Matco rep in the area in probably 15 years, and a younger guy that came through that I began to be friends with, he didn't last but about a year, and that's a whole different story. But he happened to get in when the Matco had problems, and the story that we heard was they had moved warehouses, and somehow between moving warehouses, their machine got off calibration. So their ratchets kind of was back order for a while. Well, my Matco guy only got like 4 ratchets in, and every ratchet he got in, I bought every one of them. And that's kind of how I own my Matco ratchets. But Clay came down, saw him, and thought, man, I like the thin head, or I like the way that feels, blah, 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 and bought him one, and the rest is history. So,
but here's the gear wrench.
And then
J-Cap
did send me one as well. Yeah. Do you remember, Clay? I got a subscriber named Field12 that lives pretty local. I say pretty local. They're about an hour and a half away. And he's like, my gear wrench guy wants to meet you. The gear wrench guy now this is during the ratchet situation, we'll call it, where they move whatever. And the gear wrench guy said he gave me 2 gear wrench ratchets, a 1/2 inch and a 3/8. And I ended up sending one of them to somebody for free. If you're on here, speak up if you like. If you don't, that's fine too. I forgot who. But I sent somebody one of those ratchets for free. But he said, I'm going to give you these ratchets, blah, blah, blah. And he said, you care if I take one of your ratchets apart? He took the gear wrench apart and the Matco ratchet apart. And, of course, maybe they're made both by Apex. I don't know. And swapped the heads on them just to show me that they're made from the same place or from the same somehow. So that was kind of cool.
Well, I still think for the money, the best ratchet is this one right here. For the money.
And which one is that? Icon. Okay. I personally don't own one. What is that? What does that ratchet run?
$40 without a coupon or whatever.
Can't beat it. Is it lock-in flex head or just flex head?
It's just the standard flex head. I wished it was lock-in flex head. If it was lock-in flex head, it would be on my roll cart.
That's right. Johnny Ramirez said, I've had a Matco 3/8 flex head for over 15 years. 82 in the box. Making it rain.
But yeah, the Icon for the money, in my opinion, is the best ratchet on this table right now.
Yeah, that's a good looking ratchet. I mean, if you're now, like, here's the thing, Clay, there's no reason for him to go buy that ratchet. Not one reason in the world. He didn't need that ratchet. Didn't have to have that ratchet. He can get any job done without buying that. You probably bought that ratchet, what, to show it off, to try it out, to see for yourself. But if you're a young technician, and this is the advantage y'all have versus the people like us, where we've just spent thousands and thousands of dollars, you're able to see what, Clay Koon says, if I had to do it over again, I'd go buy this Icon ratchet, blah, 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 and save the money. You can buy probably almost 4 of those ratchets for one snap-on ratchet.
Yep. If they would put this lock
on that
ratchet, you would need no tool truck locking flex head ratchets. You wouldn't. Because you're not going to get a ratchet that's going to be smoother than that.
Yeah. Randy 914 in the chat, and he's from Ohio. He said, that was me, Jay. He's the guy that, like we was talking about earlier, that maybe works in his garage. He wants a nice tool. that'll do a lot of different applications, but he don't want to spend. If he don't mind, I'm gonna go get my little fan thing, whatever, and read his letter because I remember what it says. I can't tell you word for word what it says, but basically he says that he went on a tool truck, and although he can't fill his whole box with Snap-on, he you couldn't wipe the smile off his face from walking onto a truck and buying one. Now, I think he ended up buying a Snap-on ratchet, but I mean, he's a police officer in Ohio. He can't afford to have the kind of investment that we do, and it makes sense. I mean, why would he? He's not making money with his tools. He's saving himself money and working on his and his families and his wife and his kids, and now he's got grandkids. One day he'll be working on theirs. I mean, changing water pumps and alternators and stuff like that. But it don't make no sense for him to go spend $40,000 in tools, So let me go get his letter.
He's a hipster. Says I personally put the American-made Super Lube from Harbor Freight in all of my ratchets. It's the same stuff in the little grease packets and the Snap-on rebuild kits. And who would have thought it? This ratchet is one of the ones that's under recall. It still has no lube in it. I have not returned it. And I kind of did that on purpose. I just want to see how long it'll go before it quits,
So it came with a lube?
It didn't have any lube in it at all.
Okay.
And everybody's like, man, I would take it back and get the credit voucher or whatever and get another ratchet, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I didn't need this one when I got it. So,
all right, Base, I'm gonna skip through some parts. He says he really was watching my channel. I recently bought a Homac 7-drawer roll cart for my garage and committed myself to fill it with quality tools. That's why I started watching tool videos. Although I won't be able to afford all Snap-on, I picked up 2 3/8 Snap-on ratchets and a Snap-on screwdriver set. You could not wipe the smile off my face after the first time ever being on a tool truck and walking off the truck with tools in my hand. So thank you, Jay, for taking the time doing what you do. It's nice to it's a nice getaway for me. The world can be a terrible place because he's a police officer. He sees a lot of bad things and all that stuff. So basically, somebody like him saying, he wants to fill it full of quality tools, but you can't break the bank. Like I was telling Clay earlier, and that was like behind the scenes, private conversation. I was like, the average guy who don't work as a mechanic and stuff like that, they still want to, piddle around the house and all that. They still got to send their kids to school and all that. Their wives, they ain't going to let them spend $40,000 on tools. I mean, and I don't blame them really, so let's go.
Well, I know for the money, the Icon ratchet and wrenches are great. They work great. They feel great. And I'm going to be buying a set of the Icon ratchet and wrenches without a doubt. Yep. I like the way the on and off switch is.
The chrome plating, the fit, even down to, one of my favorite, and I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to this, the tray.
The case.
I'm kind of a nerd. Y'all seen my box. I love the tray and everything neat and having its own place and all that. So,
well, I tell you, if we're going to get technical about the trays, I will show you the. In my opinion, we built some shit that looks good.
Oh, that looks good.
That's the Motive X. The Motive X. This is the.
You made a video on that already?
Yeah.
That looks good.
You're saying you didn't watch it? So that means you don't have the bell clicked?
I got your bell clicked. I'm a busy guy. That's a good looking set though.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh my, is that wobble?
Wobble.
Oh my God. That is a good looking set. What kind of warranty?
Lifetime warranty.
Oh my God. 3/8 drive.
Half.
Is it half? Okay. Screen. Oh my God.
But everything comes in a foam case. Everything, even their sockets and ratchets and all that. It's great.
What's the name?
And
Motive what?
Motive X.
Motive X.
I'll put a link down here. www.
Put a link in there, and y'all tell them that Jay Young sent you. Oh my God, dude, that's cool. That's a good looking setup.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in.
How you spell it, Matthew? Motive X without the E. That is a good looking set, ain't Johnny? Let me read some of these comments right here. Y'all are freaking awesome, Jay Young, Clay Koon. Thank you, Jake Bryan. Thank you for that, because I need some ratchet wrenches. You can't go wrong with those, Leverage TV, the Icon. They're good looking fit and finish, chrome finish, lifetime warranty. What else do you want? Randy said, you're making me blush. Oh, shut up, big guy. You know, I love you. Let's see here. All right, here's Diesel Medic says, Motive X Tools, use code Koon to save 10%. I always like to save money. J Chat said,
cool.
I've already bought them.
They're pinless. And the way it's made, I don't know if I can get that camera.
Keep holding it.
Look at the light shining on it. It works. But you can see it's made like an Allen head, kind of the ball socket on an Allen head.
Okay.
So, and when I first posted the pictures of these, everybody's like, oh, they're going to work like torch sticks, because they do look so much skinnier than your normal half-inch drive with a wobble head extension or a wobble head on it, right? Here's the thing people forget. There's no half-inch female heater to snap onto the extension.
No ammo.
So therefore, this part is way smaller, making this part look super skinny.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Let me grab a socket.
They're made on there already. So you don't need the ammo for it. Yeah. Freaking awesome.
All right. So I actually did a measure.
Jack Dolphin saying, hold on a second, Clay. Jack Dolphin saying, and you took the words out of his mouth, loving this live stream. I am too. I'm like caught up in this right now. Me and you both, Jack. If we're the only two, I'm loving this. Go ahead.
So I had to measure it. It's 1 millimeter difference between this and the snap-on. Okay. So there's not going to be torque loss like a torch stick. This is the part that gives it the optical illusion that this is smaller, because this is the half-inch female that would normally go on the half-inch extension.
That's right.
This is huge.
Compared
and
to
this is just made into it, so you don't have to have that big old fat end on there.
Absolutely.
So it makes it look skinny. So these are nice.
I will admittedly tell you, I haven't seen that video, but they look good. Gosh, they look good. So I love what is your channel name, Jay Young? It's exactly that, Jay Young. Jay Young Tools. So I tell you what, I'll say hey in the chat.
Copy a link to yours in there if you want to, or get Matthew or some of these Robert Waters. Somebody will do it.
Some of my guy, Matthew or Robert. I wish Mr. Carlton was here. They always do a good job at copying the link. So maybe you can go to channel from right there where I said, hey, something else I was going to say here. Let's see here. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. So how much does that set run, Dakota said that, and what sizes are they?
149, and it's 10 to 24 millimeter.
10 to 24? Mm-hmm. Holy cow. That's cool.
And then I have the non-wobble set, also 10 to 24.
That is so cool.
I actually wanted these for when we're doing swinger bearings on stuff. You know, it seems, and it may not be this way with everybody, but now we don't get nothing but crap to work on. You know, There ain't nobody bringing no 2018 truck up in here for us to wrench on. Everything we work on is old, But it always seems like when I go to pull the extension off, my socket wants to stay up in there. So I bought a locking extension to cut that out. Then it's too damn fat here because of that half-inch female that has to go on the extension. Then I can't get it up in there like I want to. And so I was like, I looked at these on the Snap-on truck. I looked at the Snap-on brand and how I run across Motive.
What sizes, like 10 through 24 for Motive X, what was the Snap-on sizes?
I think they was 10 to 19.
What was the price? Oh my God, you're gonna blow me off this chair. I know you.
I don't know because Hamilton didn't know either. He was gonna have to look it up and yada yada yada.
Look that up. Somebody, Robert Waters, look that up. I bet it's $300 or $400.
So I was like, So I got home that night and I was actually just finished editing my Matco video. And I said, I'm going to Google that and see if I can find, a cheaper brand. I don't use them that much. So, so I Googled long half-inch universal impact sockets. I think that's what I Googled. And there was 2 or 3 brands that popped up, and I was looking through them. Well, I seen the Motive X website, and I thought, never heard of these people. So I clicked on there and started reading about it, and I seen they come in the case and all that. And then I scrolled down, and they was $149 a set with a lifetime warranty.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that.
Nope.
So
not with a stick. Let's see here. What is 10? 159? Can't beat that with a sore Peter. That's what I'm talking about. Billy the Mechanic A2 said, this is better than anything on TV. I opted out of going shopping to watch this stream. Awesome, guys. That's what I'm talking about. We did our own channel, me and Clay Koon do, for sure. Hey, Clay, this is something kind of probably not, I should ask while we're doing this stream, whatever. The car that you have a problem with, you ever get it figured out or diagnosed or whatever, the one that crank wouldn't start?
Yes, the Captivia. So finally, Friday, we'd mess with it. Like all cam sensors are reading. We know it's not a ground. We know it's not a crank sensor. Everything's reading. We looked it up on Pro Demand. It says the car should have an initial 65 volt
scanner
startup. It should have an initial 65 volts to fire the injectors. And once it fires them at 65, it'll drop down to 12.7. And we still wouldn't get an injector pulse with.
But the scanner,
so I was like, man.
Scanner, you use 3 different scanners and it wouldn't show anything.
We used 4 different scanners on it.
Okay.
Because we actually tried one in Hamilton, had on the truck to see if it might, with the smart diagnostics, pick it up.
To fill y'all in, this is a 2014. He'll tell you what model. But the injectors wouldn't open up to follow. It would crank but not start. So I'm kind of curious what, and the scanners wouldn't show anything. So tell me. So
I called a guy that works at the Chevrolet place, and he comes here with the Chevrolet computer, and he hooks to it. And the guy's, he's a really nice guy, like super nice. We're telling him everything we did. He said, look, if you don't care, he said, I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. We'll have this thing cranking today. I was like, okay. He's like, let me just kind of run through it and see what I can come up with. So the first thing he does, he plugs up the scan tool and he does all of this stuff, and he goes to turns it over, and he looks at, I'm talking about this as straight solemn as you can ask. He looks right at me. He goes, there ain't no damn reason why this car won't crank. And just stood there and looked at me. I'm like, so what are you saying? He goes, I don't know what I'm saying, but there's no reason why this damn car won't crank. It's doing everything it's supposed to. So he run a whole bunch of tests. He tried to reprogram the ECM. He made sure there wasn't any security issues with it. Nothing with the key not cranking it. But man, we went through everything you could ask for. run a compression test on it again. Of course, we knew it had 2 cylinders that was down a little bit, but not enough that would even affect it cranking, by no means. And long story short, when we get through, he goes, only thing I can tell you is the ECM, after it gives the initial 65 volts, it's done. It's not supplying any more power to the injectors. That's why you have no injector bandwidth. So we're going to have to buy ECM.
Oh, my God. What's that?
About $400, and it's going to cost us another $75 or so to have it programmed. I thought it was funny that the guy looks at me and goes, there's no damn reason why this car shouldn't crank. None. Everything's there. So, who knows?
Is there an end to this story? Is there an end to this story?
He rolls his stuff up. He puts it back in the bag. He said, I'll come program the ECM, but that's got to be what it is.
So you're going to...
Okay. So I call the customer and I tell him the whole thing, what happened. Because see, like the guy calls me and like, you know, there's certain times where, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, you just need to tell somebody, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, you know.
Not really, so, you don't know what you're doing, but like nothing's making sense at this point. And this, I followed it all the way to this lead. I've also called a certified, all those patches. I've called these people in this determination. So now what do you want to do? You know, if we go this route, it's going to cost you this much more. What do you want to do?
Well, this is how our conversation went. I called him Thursday and I said, look, Mr. I got a tore up car. Here is the issue. We've checked everything we know to check. We know it's not a timing issue because all of that's perfect. We know it's not a cam sensor because all 4 of them are reading. We know it's not a ground issue. We know it's not a firing issue. We know there's no reason why this car. He said, so what do you think's wrong with it? And my exact words was, I ain't got a damn clue.
You know, it's
have to call somebody.
It's basically somebody. Yeah, but why aren't the injectors open? Yeah.
You know, I told him, I said, I don't have a damn clue. I'm going to have to call somebody that knows much more about these direct injection engines than what we know. Like, we have done a lot of timing jobs, and we've never had this issue. But now, we blamed everything on the timing because when they brought it in here on a tow truck, mind you, it wasn't running. And the complaint was, we're driving down the road, car cuts off. End of story. Nothing else. The guy don't even bother to tell us, oh, yeah, by the way, we tried to crank the car on the side of the road. No, we don't even get that information.
Yeah, so you don't know if it's like
shut off.
Backfiring or anything like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The car shut off, going down the road, in the store. Tow's in here, and the daughter actually follows the tow truck in here and says, look, well, whatever's wrong with my car, I want it fixed. My daddy's going to cover the bill. Fix my car. So we plug it up to a scanner, and it's got a ton of timing codes in it. So we're like, okay, timing job. So we tore the valve cover off, and of course, that's when we found all the sludge that was in it, and this and that. So I call the guy back. I'm like, here's what we got going on. The engine's full of sludge. You need a timing job. You know, it's 3 timing chains. It was like 7 different guides, 3 or 4 different actuators. I mean, it was a lot of parts there. He says, well, I don't want to spend that much money on it. Do it as cheap as you can. I said, you need to replace the oil pump and pickup tube in this thing. And it needs to be cleaned out. Like, take the oil pan off of it, flush it all out. He said, just throw a timing chain on it and the guides, whatever you got to have for that. Throw it together and crank it later.
Let me stop. With all the sludge buildup, him being so tight on maintenance is probably where it's led to at this point. You know what I'm saying? No surprises, all kind of sludge. he's probably the guy that tries to get the extra 1,000 miles out of something when he shouldn't. So go ahead.
Well, no, it was his daughter, actually. She bought the car used. Like, we found all this out afterwards. Like, I'm kind of getting there. Let me back up just a little bit. So I said, so you do not want to put an oil pump on it, and you do not want to pay us to take the oil pan off and clean it. He says, no. Throw the chain on there, throw the tensioners on there, get it fixed cheap, because I'm going to recommend that she sells that car anyway. I was like, okay, but I still recommend putting an oil pump in it, because if we try to crank this thing and it's the oil pickup tube stopped up, you're going to have to go back. I said, we'll take that chance. Okay. Hey, if you're willing to take that chance, we'll go along with you. So we timed it, got everything put back together, took a relay out so it would not crank, and was going to build oil pressure, before we cranked, of course. Wouldn't build oil pressure. So we thought, well, maybe it was the oil pressure sensor. So we take it apart, look at everything, no go. No oil pressure. So I called the guy back. I said, look, this thing's not building oil pressure. We have not cranked the car. We tried to build oil pressure by disabling it. Would not crank. He said, how far will it make it if we come and get it? I said, I don't even know that it'll crank. It will back out of the building. Like, it has 0, not 1 PSI, not 10 PSI. It's showing 0 PSI.
If it's right. If it's reading right.
If it's reading right. And he says, well, what is it going to cost to put an oil pump in it? And I said, well, remember me telling you before it'd be way cheaper for us to put an oil pump in it? The first time, we got to tear out everything we did, go back in there.
Yeah.
To put an oil pump. He says, put a pump in it. I said, all right. Well, I said, if we're going to do that, the only way we're going to do it is take the oil pan off of it, clean everything out, and reassemble. He said, do it to it. So that's what we did. Took the oil pan off. The pickup tube, it was so stopped up on it. It was like grease inside it. We had to take a screwdriver and like push. It was like a clotted up artery. It was completely solid.
Oh my God.
So we got it cleaned up, reassembled it, retimed it, built oil pressure, get ready to crank it. Will not crank. So automatically, we're thinking it's something we did. The first thing we went back through was checking to make sure everything was plugged up, checking all the grounds, this and that. And, still to this day, we have not got it to start, but we do know it'll pop 65 volts. It shows it on the scan tool. There's nothing after that. So we have no injector codes. No injector pulse width.
So what's your next decision? I want to buy like a ECM, off Junkyard or off eBay, and let them come back reprogram it, or what?
Well, that's the path I thought he would take, because he was being so cheap the first couple of times, because he pretty much wasted 10 hours of labor at $50 an hour, which was $500. So, I'm like, look, do you want us to try to find one at the junkyard, because we can get that one reprogrammed, because it is a 13 model. He says, nope. He said, I don't want to risk any more money. Order a brand new one. If that's what that guy thinks it may be, and that's what it's going to take to fix it, order a brand new one, have it programmed. It's $400 for a new one. And I got one that I could get out of the junkyard for $120, but he said, I don't want to risk any more on it. Let's put a new one in it.
Wow. So,
and his plans is once it leaves here, he's going to trade it in.
Wow. So I was kind of wondering, I talked to you last week about that story. So I was kind of wondering, I told you, I was like, I want to know, of course, I guess you haven't got running. I want to know why. I just like to know the end of that story. So based on what you guys have heard today on different tools and impacts and whatever, what impact, if you didn't own the ones you own right now in your toolbox, what impact are y'all sold on? Of course, we don't have a lot of on the Carlyle. It's not out on the market and stuff like that. And of course, we anticipate. Is Clay? When's it going to be out on the shelf? You know,
December and January is when they're saying.
so another few days and it'll be out on the shelf. So what do y'all think? Are you still going to go if you had no impacts, if they blew up today, would you go buy the Milwaukee? Would you buy the Matco? Would you buy the Carlyle? Would you buy something else? So I'm gonna let y'all chew on that. I'm gonna be right back.
Well, I know, of course, I'm fortunate enough to get to use, all the brands that's, the Matco, the Snap-on, the Milwaukee, and the Carlyle. I still say, and this is my personal opinion, the 3/8 gun, if I was looking for power, the Snap-on is not your answer. If you're looking for a small body that you can fit in a lot of tight spaces, I'm 100% still a CT761 Snap-on fan, without a doubt. I guess if I was wanting something that I knew would hit really, 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 really hard, I was doing a lot of heavy work where I needed something super strong, I would probably go with a Carlyle.
So
in a shop setting, I don't know, where you got air to back you up in case it does fail, I would probably stick with the Milwaukee.
of course, better than air. I've had things electric won't take off, air won't take off, and you never got to use a breaker bar with a cheater pipe. So, it ultimately leverage and manpower is the best. And I'm going to say as much as 50% of the people that watch us have either shops, either of their own, or they're employees of some kind of shops. The other 50 are consumers. So we got to kind of keep that in mind too. I'm going to say I love my Milwaukee. I love the stubby when it comes to 3/8 drive. We've always disagreed on that. You like the paddle shift? I like the little short nose stubby, whatever. However, after hearing you talk so much about the Carlyle, I would be so anxious, if nothing else, to come to your shop, try it out to see how much I like that. I'd also want to follow up with price point, warranty, and all that good stuff, as well as I'm interested in the Matco, because the Matco have put in a lot of research and a lot of study into their tools in the last two to 3 years. I think Corey got out about 2 years ago. So it's they're definitely the big three right now. 60 votes. 60 votes. That's nuts.
And it's bigger.
When you told me that, I thought you mispronounced that. I said, "What did you say?" I said, "Did you say 60 volts?"
Well, let me get all the batteries off, and you can look at it.
I'm gonna read everybody's decisions. And I'm not meaning. Timothy says Milwaukee and Matco. J Chap says Milwaukee. Dr. Matt Milwaukee. Leverage TV says Matco. Walter says Milwaukee. Milwaukee. Matco. Harbor Freight says Cooter. Let's see here. Jeff Russo says Milwaukee. Matthew also says Milwaukee for battery, Aircat, or Matco for air. So that's a good point. What we don't see here is the Carlyle and the 60 votes, and it's just because they haven't been on the market, they haven't been on the shelf, and they haven't proved themselves. Like
they haven't been tested. I agree with that.
What would it take for y'all to buy that? Would it be a price point, or like what would it take for y'all to buy that? Would it have to be a huge difference for you to consider Carlyle? That's what I want to know. Like you'd say, well, dang, I can buy the Carlyle for $100 cheaper. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go that route because they got same amount of warranty, blah blah blah. What would it take? Price and warranty, says Matthew. Too new for the Carlyle.
Let's see what the batteries will actually put out. Got my voltmeter. Here's the Matco.
Z56 says price point, and I'd wait for the videos to come out.
Let's see what the Matco battery actually puts out. Take my tips off. And we'll see if it's a true 60 volt. We'll see if it's a true 18 or a true 20 or whatever.
J Chap said, I look at price point and warranty because Napa is everywhere. They are everywhere. Lever CV said, if price didn't matter, what gun would you choose? If price didn't matter, well, it's kind of, Clay's got the advantage over all of us. He's got all three at his shop, you know, so that's a good question. I'm biased to Milwaukee. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm so biased, but only because that's unfair to Matco and Carlyle. That's so unfair. So, and that goes as far as
17.49.
I can tell you this. I wouldn't consider anybody else but those three, like Makita, Hitachi, Ryobi, DeWalt. I wouldn't consider none of them else. And if any of y'all, I have like chop saws and different things of those brands, but I'm talking about the battery powered line. I wouldn't consider them. So,
you say that?
17.49.
17.
Yep.
Look what brand it is.
The win. Pat Clark Barnes says betting 54 votes.
17.49 on the Matco 20 volt.
All right.
Let's see what the Milwaukee will do.
Now, what is it rated at?
18.
18. So what are we looking at? About
Ooh,
17.
That's interesting, boys.
Oh, 20.23. Johnny
So
Merritt
the 20 volt.
Two trucks. You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point Johnny Ramirez made. Carlyle, like the Napa stores, won't take payments. That's huge. We know that, Clay. Me and you work on that same system. You know,
Right.
That's going to be the biggest selling point. If they would or could partner up with a tool truck that would take, that's huge for the working man. Huge. The people that's working on this stuff in the shop don't have $500 or $600 below. So that is huge. Good point. There's Ken, the long guy in the house.
All right. So the 20 volt Milwaukee, the 20 volt Matco did 17.49 volts. All right. And it's got some charge in it. It's not dead. All right. So it did 17.49 at a 20 volt battery. The Milwaukee, which is fully charged, did 20 volts on an 18 volt battery.
20.23.
Okay.
Yep. Now keep in mind, Carlyle is almost dead. It's got one bar on it, I believe I've seen.
60 volts. It does have one bar. So let's see what it does.
4 votes, said Pat Clark Barnes. That's what he's betting on. I'm going to say lower than that, about 50 votes with it that dead.
52.8.
Yep.
Pretty impressive.
Robert Waters said we don't have that if we stay off the snap-on truck.
He said what?
We can have that money if we stay off the snap-on truck. Are we still alive? Mine's showing the wheel of death. I don't know. Is everybody else still good?
I'm still seeing it.
Okay.
It might be that super fast fiber internet you have.
Yes, I bet it is. So, Ryobi and Rigid is good for homeowner use, says Streambean. Streambean's got a lot of, all right, they say we're still good. My iPad, the chat's showing, just my screen ain't showing too good. So, Tyler said, Milwaukee keep enough for homeowners, especially older generation models. Yeah, a lot of people, Tyler, I think it's important to say, and if you don't know, if you're not in the loop, I've seen a lot of people say, oh man, I can buy this Milwaukee stuff. I can buy 16 pieces for $219, but they don't understand it's not the fuel. You know what I'm talking about?
It's the regular brush time.
Yeah, so it might not be important to homeowners, but it's everything to the people who's in the commercial world, the fuel, so the brushless. So Ken the Long Guy says, so at what point is more too much? I think my large, that's Ken, you should have been here 2.5 hours ago. We said that. Like, what is the ceiling? Like everybody's pushing the standards so high. Like, where are we going to stop? Where is the anvil going to break? When are the sockets going to, like, you know, they're going to have to start making them
Explode.
Yeah. I mean, exactly what you said. So
Here's one thing I purchased that I guess I'm a little remorseful about from Snap-on.
oh, buyer's remorse. Look at that.
Yeah. The Snap-on meter.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. What did you
I
spend on
bought
that?
that like $700. I
Oh,
bought that when they first come out. I actually, when I read about they was coming out with them, I actually had Hamilton order one, and this was one of the first ones that was ever sold.
and what did you just use to measure it? A fluke or something?
No, it was a Snap-on, but it was the Fluke style. This one is slower to respond.
You need your butt kicked.
I mean, it's nice, but it's slower to respond. I do like you can Bluetooth it to your phone, but I always use my old one because it's a lot easier.
Whoa. That brings me to a whole subject. And I forgot what brands. I think Milwaukee, because Mr. Joe used to show it. How do you feel about the Bluetooth torque stuff with the electric guns? I think it's totally crap. Why would you even want to do that where you can set the torque specs or whatever? I think it's something else to mess up. If you've got to get on your phone instead of damn torque, I think it's garbage. But anyway, give me your feelings. I mean, we're not going to disagree on, I mean, whatever.
Mr. Joe, he offered to give me, well, you know, the set that I gave you, that's where they come from, was Joe's truck.
Yeah.
When I got the 2767, because the first one I got was not the 2767. It was the, get me out here, Matthew. Matthew's the Milwaukee expert. The first one I got was not the 2767. It was the other one. No. We'll just call it the other one.
Okay.
So when I told Mr. Joe I wanted to get you a set of those for Christmas, he said, do you want the blue key or blue, what do they call it? One key. He said, if so, they got on sale. It'll be $40 more for the half inch if you want to get that one. 2762 is what he said. So I got the 2767, and he tried to get me to get the one key in, and I didn't see a need for it. Of course, we use it for reverse most of the time on things that I need to know what the tightness is. We're going to use a torque wrench anyway.
Walter had a good, I don't know this. This is just Walter saying, but Walter said with the one key, you can shut it off if it's stolen. Now, I've never had anything stolen, so I don't know if that would benefit me being a business owner. That would be cool if somebody stole my shit, though, and I was like, you ain't going to use it anyway, and shut it off, you know, but I still wouldn't use it, even that being, you know. But that is I just can't see it. John Russell said, I've got the one from Harbor Freight. It works engine fine and dandy. Godfrey Appliance said, I still have an analog Simpson meter, still use it. Robert Waters is on John, but it wouldn't full-time shop use. Matthew, you can, I believe, the GPS on one key for tracking. Yeah, that goes back to shutting it off. So I just, in my business, I just don't see that whole Bluetooth where you had to get on your phone and set a setting. And I guess if you was doing several torques on like a trailer wheel or big trucks or something like that, I mean, I don't know. Like Clay said, most times you're going to double check it with a wrench or something like that. So I just, it goes back to case by case study and everybody's application. Me, myself, I care nothing about it. So Joseph Benjamin Saravia says, any ideas, and this is for the chat too, y'all, 82 people watching, any ideas for some good impact socket extension? Does that Great Pneumatic make some, Clay? What's up, Bo Freak? How are you doing? This Dr. Matt said, yes, they do make it. The gray pneumatic. I don't build the mechanics as gray pneumatic. I'm not opposed. How does the Pittsburgh extensions work, y'all? I know I broke one here recently, so don't ask me. I wouldn't give them yeah, Clay stepped out for a second, so.
Hey, Jay.
Hey.
I got something cool to show you.
All right.
All right, come here. Let me get it and show it to you.
Can you show it on camera?
Yeah.
That's not one of them kind of streams, Clay.
Can
What?
you see it?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
What
What
are
are
you
you
doing?
doing? Dude! You have
How you
up. Talk.
Show him them guns, man. Don't be scared of them.
Nothing, boy. You ain't talking about nothing.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Nothing. Andrew, you ain't talking about nothing, boy. What are you doing?
look at that. Look at that.
Talk to me. Boy, look at you trying to put them fists behind them guns. You ain't doing nothing. When you come to Hall, I'm gonna arm wrestle you, and you're going down.
He don't want that.
It's only you don't. It's only.
I think your voice has gotten deeper, dude. I'm proud of you. You know.
Hey, I tell you what, y'all can do a push-up contest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Right now, right here. You know I can't
Yeah.
lie because my camera won't go all the way down to the floor. I can like.
Excuses.
I know.
Y'all can do a push-up contest and a sit-up contest.
Seriously, Andrew, listen to me. I'm proud of you, dude. Me and Clay talk about it all the time. You're young, dude. Stay in. I promise you. I promise you. Do your time. 20 years. You'll be sitting pretty. I promise you. Dude, you can do this. I promise you.
Show him them abs, Andrew.
Let me see them out. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. Come on. I'm gonna show you my dad bod. My dad bod. Come on, Andrew.
I'm good.
Oh, he broke the camera. Uh-oh, he broke it. But Andrew's home on pass, so he's home until Sunday. So, he broke it. Look, he said, "Oops."
Come on.
Yep, he broke it. Like completely off.
I hit the power button. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Power button. Come on. Why ain't my screen? Okay, here we go. Start camera. Come on, camera. There we go. There we go. Anyway, when I tilt my screen down, my power button's on top. So, come on, Andrew. What about them abs? You don't want them abs, huh? You been doing them
He
sit-ups?
got them now. He's hard as a brick. Look at that chest.
Oh, my God. Come on, shape up.
We're so happy to have him home.
I know. I'm proud of you, dude. I promise you, I'm proud of you. I can't wait to see you again.
Look how tall he's got. He's taller than I am now.
Dude, you don't know. I love to show up tomorrow at 11 o'clock. If we do this arm wrestle, me and you.
Oh, okay.
My stream arm wrestle, me and you. You don't want to drink.
You talk way too much. You talk way too much, young.
Cooter retired out of the Air Force. He said, "Do your 20. You won't regret it." Cooter, how long you been retired?
Andrew, you can retire. Dude, man, I promise you. I don't know.
37. 37-year-old he can retire.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't know what you look, when you look at me and Clay, I don't know what you see in your eyes, but this would be where you're starting your life. Dude, you would be like able to do whatever you want. Where me and Clay, you see we work every day. We had to, work hard and all that. You won't have to at our age, man. It'd be so cool. It'd be so cool. So, and something to be proud of, look back at. Just Give it everything you got. I got faith in you. You know, I always like. Yeah.
Man, he is excelling. I'm talking about like killing it, dude. Killing it.
Yeah, we're having a push-off contest though. We're still gonna do that. So
a push-off or a push-up? Push-off or push-up?
I don't know. Like the push-ups, like you eat. You know what I'm talking about? What about Ashley?
What about it?
You may go see her when you gone.
Oh.
You know the only reason why I remember that name? Because that was one of my exes. Remember I told you that?
Yeah, you did.
It's all right. All right, brother. I love it, though.
So he come home, right? And we go and see him before we bring him home. And said, "Do you want some eggs?" He said, "Oh no eggs. I'm good on the eggs."
Don't get no eggs. So what do you eat there, Andrew?
It's the exact same meal, like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every week. So like Monday it's something different up until Saturday, and then all of it just goes again. So like usually we have like powdered eggs every day, and then
not the powder, not the powder.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Did you do your hair like mine on purpose?
Like, yeah.
He told me
you're trying to look like me, ain't you?
Tell him what's your day like from when you wake up, what time it is, all the way to the time you go to bed. Tell him what you have to list on.
He probably wakes up same time I do, about 9 a.m.
Well, day of past, I woke up at about 3 o'clock, and then I went outside.
Whoa, let me stop you there. You woke up 2 o'clock to go pee and then go back to bed, or what?
No. 3 o'clock because everybody got up then, and then I had to go flip tractor tires for about 3 or 4 hours, and then I got to eat breakfast. Then I got to come here, but on a regular day, I would either have to go to my college classes or I would go on detail, community service and all that. And then I have to do PT for about 2 or 3 hours. And then I get to come back, and I couldn't go to sleep until about 8.
Oh my God.
Tell him what you gotta do. Hang on. He's trying to get it's the presidential medal, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell him what you gotta do to get the presidential medal.
Above 55 push-ups in 1 minute, and then above 57 sit-ups in a minute, and then a 1 mile run. Whoa.
55 push-ups in 1 minute?
Yes. I got 60.
Push-up a second.
Yeah, he's doing 60. He's already got that.
You do that, and you'll get my sheriff's badge. I'll give you my major sheriff's badge.
No way.
I swear to God, I'll even sign it. I swear to God. Okay, so keep talking. Oh my God, dude! I want to get on.
Only thing that I haven't done is the 1 mile run. Mine right now is like 7 minutes and 10 seconds or something like that, and I need it below 6 minutes and 30 seconds. But if I do that, then I'll get the patch, and then I don't know.
So what does let me ask you this. So you try to pace yourself, right, on that 1 mile?
Yes.
Like, what are you going to do? Do you run out of lungs? You run out of breath first? I mean, what can you do to speed that time up other than run faster, but you don't want to run your lungs out? So how do you plan on getting that? Just keep working.
I mean, every day I've been running a mile, like whenever I get back from a chow. But like the main thing is just running and like not stop running. If you know what I mean. Just
yeah.
I can run and get the time, but like I just want to quit.
How much time do you have to reach this goal? Like when do you have to have this under 6 minutes and something, 30 seconds or whatever?
Well, it started when I first got there, but like I didn't really take it seriously until like the last test, and the last test was like a week ago. So,
But you
Like December, was it December the 17th or December 21st? December 21st.
so by then
So-
you can do it. You can do it. So you can do it.
well,
Put your
my
feel
my
like getting
test
tired.
is gonna be do what?
Getting tired. Just think about me. I'm gonna slap you upside the head if you don't get it. Keep
I
pushing.
got you. I got you.
Keep pushing, dude. So we're proud of you, though. I can do that. I
Yeah.
promise you. Yep.
If you could go back, Jay Young, would you do what he's doing right now? If you could go back,
When me and you talked about him the other night, let me tell you something crazy. I haven't even told you this. When me and you, and you know what, most people that watch my channel, my number one fear is one thing: heights and flying or whatever. So me and Clay was talking about you doing this, and I dreamed that I signed up, dude, for the military. And
Yeah.
the reason why I wanted to back out because I knew I was going to fly places. I was like, no, I don't want to fly. I don't want to do this. So, but if other than that, yeah, even when you sign up, people sign up for different reasons. Some have to, some don't, some do it. But I can promise you one thing, Andrew, when you're in that uniform, they've made you a better man. And people like me and Clay and the rest of the 70 people watching, when they see you out in public, they respect you. I promise you that, for standing up for everything that we have. So I promise you that. So keep doing it.
Thank you. I will.
I figured you'd get a kick out of him coming on here.
Oh my God, I've been telling Clay, tell Andrew, I said, what's up? Tell Andrew, I said, what's up? So I'm proud of you, dude. I really am. So I can't.
I invited him, so it's up to him if he comes or not.
But I can't wait to see what you make out of yourself as a man, and see where your future takes you. So it's exciting, dude. I wish I was your age again. I mean, if everybody, a lot of people, old timers used to tell me things. I used to look at people like me and think, oh, yeah, right, blah, blah, blah. I know I've heard it from everybody, but I promise you, dude, you're going down the right path. I promise you are. So,
yeah.
Good.
Could you imagine 37-year-old being able to open up your email or bank statement on your phone and be like, got paid today. 37.
Right. Exactly. 37, dude. That was 4 years ago for me, by the way.
Yeah.
So I promise you, I'd love to do that. I would love to. And you can do anything you want with your life after that. Not saying you can't then, but do this, Andrew. Take advantage of everything they offer you. Any kind of schooling, because that's going to carry over in regular civilian life. If it's military police, you might be the police chief of Halls, Tennessee. Come up here. I'll give you a police chief job. I promise you I will. Do anything you want, but take advantage of everything they offer you. So
I mean, so far I've gotten to
for free. You've got health care for the rest of your life, even though the VA needs to do a better job and all that. But I mean, there's no other occupation that you'd rather be in. I promise you. So, and of course, again, to be respected the way that people are and stuff like that. You're cut for the mold, dude. I mean, look at you. You're young, you're smart, buff. I mean, and I'm old and buff and kind of, if you have a dad bod like me, get older, you would have the ultimate life. So that's all I'm saying. So it didn't seem like very long ago when we was in the back seat and you spiked my drink.
Well, I'll tell you what's cool is
what I'm talking about.
and like 37-year-old, when he gets out and he goes to work somewhere and he don't like it, it don't matter because he's got a paycheck, But see ya.
I don't really like this.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm gonna go try to find something else. I mean, that's freaking cool. That is so cool. So I can't wait to. I mean, look, you're gonna travel all over the world. You're gonna meet some little honey. I can't wait to see what you make out of your life. I really can't. It's gonna be the best.
That's what I told him. Like, he's kind of stuck on Ashley. I'm like, dude, you need to explore a little bit. You know, you're going to go to all of these different, not just countries, but all the different states. And
it's meant to be.
There's going to be a lot of little hotties.
Ashley will be here when she'll want to come wherever you are if it's meant to be. But it's going to be a whole lot of, like, when I wake up every day, Andrew, I think everybody wakes up in Halls, Tennessee, population 2,000. But, man, there's so much in the world. I would like to explore the world and all that. You got that. You got it. You got the world by the tail, dude. I'm telling you. Read something. What do y'all think? What do you guys think? Andrew, being a young guy, look at Matthew. Say, good job, Andrew. Stick with it. Put 20 years in, retire, and then do something else. Exactly. Cooter says, I'm proud of you, Andrew. Everybody. Yeah. So,
like, we went down there, we got to go visit him when they had the little cookout thing, and we was going on base down there at Camp Shelby, and everybody you seen was driving a Mustang. Not like a raggedy Mustang. I'm talking about like new, nice Mustangs. And I told Shy, I said, everybody here's got a Mustang. That's crazy. And she said, yeah, that's what Andrew said. I think that's like a prerequisite. You got to have a Mustang if you're leaving.
I don't know on the internet, the Mustang people can't drive. So watch like Mustang drivers or whatever. Everybody always fishtails and like that. So don't embarrass us, Andrew. Don't be on no viral video spinning out in a Mustang. So
I'll make you proud.
Yeah, but honestly though, it's just I'm proud of you. That's all I can say. Over and over, I'm proud of you. So you're making the right career choice. So
I agree.
Yeah. Good job, Andrew. Many training opportunities. Exactly. I'm trying to get my wife in the Air Force or Army because they got more opportunity. There you go, Cheyenne. Send her off somewhere. Go to officer school. Never did it, but put 27 years in, regret it. You hear from John Russell? He put 27 years in. He regretted never going to officer school. So, dude, it's, oh, my God. My brother, you met my brother, I think. I can't remember if you did. Did you meet my brother? I think you did. He, 4 years in the Navy or 6 years in the Navy, something like that. So, he got to go to, like, Germany, all over the world. So, but don't turn out like him. Please don't.
Hey, he has a Mustang too, right?
Oh,
must be something.
Oh my God, what is going on here? Maybe get a Camaro, break the streak for real.
Okay.
So, but if things work out, you'll be as cool as your Uncle Jason. And what else can you ask for?
I could only, honestly.
That's what I'm talking about. You always got a home here. So.
All right, guys.
1 second before we get off here. What's your path? Like, where do you think? What's your path? And like, where do you go from? Here and there, and what? Like, I know you talk to your buddies, and they talk about I'm going in this career or this whatever. Where do you see yourself going into?
Honestly, the Air Force.
Okay.
I really like heights, so a pilot would be really cool.
It would be.
And I got a 73 in my ASVAB, which means that like I can get a lot of jobs, especially in the Air Force. So, and they get paid pretty well.
Good deal.
But if not Air Force, probably the Marines.
Okay, Jarhead. There you go. So either way, like I said, I'm proud of you and all that, and I love you, and I hope whatever you do, and I promise you can call me anytime, day or night, get my number and play, and I'll always answer. So I'll talk to you and do what I can for you. So, Clay, you ready to wrap this up?
Yep. Well, thank y'all, guys. There's been a lot of y'all. There's still 69 in the box showing. There's been a lot of you guys that's probably stuck in there from the beginning, and we're at 2 hours and 40 minutes. So we covered a lot of cool stuff. We got to see an awesome tool right there. And it was fun, and I hope we can do it again now that we finally figured out how to do it. So maybe we'll do it again. But you guys, if you're not subscribed to Jay Young, leave them a comment. In case they're not, they can go ahead and click that subscribe button on your channel too. Like always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up and click that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed to Jay Young, click that button too, because Hey, he does these all the time. I'm rare on the live stream. He is the king of live stream. So there you go. You gonna put yours in there?
Yep, there I go. Until next time, I'm Jay Young, and I'm out. Love you, Andrew.
All right. See ya.